Chapter 386. Su Yihong had expected a temporary board meeting at Su Holdings. Several of the shareholders who supported him had privately informed him that if there was a plan before, it could be carried out now. Su Yihong expected that Papa Su had called for the board meeting so urgently because he had already received the results of the DNA test beforehand. After all, Jing Yan had so many things on his mind that he would definitely have Papa Su handle it in advance. Still, Papa Su had his own plans and Su Yihong had his way. The board meeting at Su Holdings was about to begin at 2 in the afternoon, and Jing Yan followed Papa Su to the company. Naturally, he did not have the right to appear at the meeting. At the same time, Mama Su took the DNA test and Jing Yan's DNA test, and asked a friend to meet the wife of eldest Uncle Su's wife, since she wanted to help her husband and son settle the matter as soon as possible. The wife of the eldest uncle of the Su family had always tolerated her husband because she had always blamed herself for not being able to give him a son. Hence, deep down, she knew that her husband had gone out to look for mistresses. She had caused a ruckus in the past, but her husband had restrained himself. That was why she had turned a blind eye to it all these years, as long as it was not too much. She was surprised to meet Mama Su today. While the two families usually met, there were not many chances for a private meeting like this. Eldest sister, sister-in-law, what are you doing? Mama Su sat down looking confused. Of course, she was aware that her brother had suspended her husband from his duties. I'm here today to show you two things. With that, Mama Su handed the two reports to her eldest sister-in-law. Mama Su had a bad feeling when she saw the yellow paper bag, which was why she was very hesitant when she took it. Sister-in-law, could you be asking me to betray my husband? Your brother might be a little overboard, but he wouldn't go so far as to. You'll know when you see it, eldest sister. Mama Su said quietly. Su Yihong nodded and mustered her courage to open the yellow paper bag before throwing it aside. What's this? She was so excited that she rose to her feet. Su Yihong, the eldest son of my family, isn't actually my child with Wenhong, but eldest brother and his mistress. That's impossible. Although he has a mistress, he doesn't have any children. I'm sure of that. Sister-in-law, there's proof in the hospital. When I gave birth to eldest brother was with that woman, and gave birth in the hospital as well. In order to seize power, he did everything he could to replace my eldest brother. It's a pity that my real son died when he was only a few years old. Mama Su's tears streamed down her face when she said that. The eldest Su sister-in-law stared at Mama Su in shock, clearly unwilling to accept the truth. However, the Su family had always doted on Su Yihong, and since Mama Su had come to her, there was nothing more to be said about the matter. Hence, she sat down again, although she appeared rather dazed and unable to accept it. That bastard! Eldest sister-in-law, this is not the only evil that my eldest brother has done. You know that I've just found my third child. But do you know who lost my third child? Mrs. Su knew very well that Mama Su had almost gone mad searching for Jing Yan over the years. If this matter was also done by that bastard, the few of us are really blind. What do you want me to do? No, I'll tell sister-in-law to continue. After all, what if you still want this family? The eldest Su sister-in-law promptly slapped the table and rose to her feet. I've endured it for so many years for my daughter. I would have divorced him if I knew that the bastard had a son outside. Do you think I care about this marriage? What family? He's never cared about me or my daughter over the years, and I was just wondering. So he had a son in the first place. And here I was thinking that I owed him something. What do you people plan to do? There was nothing more delightful than being united against a common enemy. You just have to take back what you deserve and not mistreat yourself and your niece. That's all. I want to divorce him. Otherwise, sooner or later, everything he has will belong to that bastard. Don't even think about it. Sister-in-law, you and second brother don't need to feel any guilt. Just based on what that bastard did. He should have been struck by lightning long ago and broken up with his family. This sister-in-law was a sensible woman. That was why Papa Su was assured to tell her about the matter. If you've really thought it through, please listen to us. Before Papa Su could sue the eldest uncle for fraud, they should divorce him and take half of his assets. Otherwise, it would be too late when his assets were frozen. I don't know if you need it, but I still have evidence of his extramarital affairs. I don't know if I've taken pictures of the mistress who gave birth to his child. There's also evidence of him taking bribes from the shareholders. Really? Meanwhile, the shareholders had taken their seats in the meeting room of Su Holdings. Of course, the eldest uncle and Su Yihong, who had been suspended, were not present. Still, those two had been waiting in the dark. If Papa Su dared to act recklessly, they would not sit still and wait for death. Jing Yun was standing outside the meeting room. In truth, he was not as calm as he appeared to be. After all, he was aware that every shareholder here was connected to their own interests. If Su Yihong had given them enough benefits, Papa Su would not have an easy time holding the board meeting. Chairman Su, hurry up and say what's on your mind. Everyone's time is also very precious. Papa Su found it difficult to speak even as he held the report. Still, after some thought, he said, "The Su family has produced two good actors. While it's a family scandal that shouldn't be aired in public, I have to say it since it concerns the very foundation of Su Holdings. Su Yihong isn't my biological son, which is why I've left the matter to my lawyer. His shares and the latest projects of Su Holdings are to be frozen. The shareholders were half aware at that. Chief Su, whose is he if he isn't your son? Chairman Su, you have to make it clear to everyone. Su Yihong is the child of my eldest brother and his mistress. He swapped his own son with my own in order to seize power. And that's why he ended up like this today," Papa Su explained. "I see. To think that something like that actually happened." The shareholders appeared to have their doubts cleared and their desire for gossip satisfied. That was when someone voiced an objection. "But the version I know isn't like that." Chapter 387. The version I know is that you knew that your child was sick, and so begged your eldest brother to swap the child, because you said that you were afraid that your wife wouldn't be able to take the blow. Your kind elder brother decided to sacrifice himself for you, and let you adopt his child. However, he didn't expect that today, because of your own suspicions, not only did you remove him and his son from their positions, but you also accused him of deceiving you? Everyone fell into deep thought at those words. That explanation did not seem wrong. "Why do you seem to know more about my family than I do, Director One?" Papa Su asked calmly in return. "Could you be a parasite in our stomachs? Your eldest brother and I have always been close, and he would naturally tell me everything about you. What's so strange about that?" Director One sneered. "All these years, Yihong has made great contributions to Su Enterprise. Is it because you found third brother, or because you're suspicious of Yihong? That's why you're putting on this show? Am I right? How could I abandon my own son?" Papa Su roared. "What did that father and son offer you? Whatever it is, you have to listen to the person in question to know." With that, Director Wen rose from his chair and went to fetch Su Yihong and his son, who had been waiting downstairs. Jing Yun knew that the father and son were up to something again when he saw them, and couldn't help worrying about Papa Su's situation. Meanwhile, Su Yihong told Jing Yun as he walked past him, "You're just a dog even if you've been with Sheng Xiao for a long time. I think the Sheng family wasn't wrong to call you that." Jing Yun said nothing, and watched as the father and son entered the room. The other directors watched as the father and son appeared, readying themselves to watch the show. "Wen Hong, I really didn't think that you would really treat me like this. You weren't like this when you begged me to give you my child. Father and son, we worked so hard for Su Holdings, but you trampled us like this today. How could you let me down like this? Everyone here, please be the judge. I'm the eldest brother, and I gave my own flesh and blood to stabilize his family. But what about him? Today, they actually slandered me for cheating. If it were you, wouldn't you be disappointed?" Papa Su remained calm even as he watched them act. "Leaving everything else aside, you're acknowledging that you're father and son, right?" Papa Su asked, getting to the point. "We are father and son. Didn't you already know that? Ever since Yihong was born you knew. Then what illness did my own son have when he was born?" Papa Su pressed. "Leukemia." Papa Su chuckled at those words. "That's to prevent you and your father from making things up. That's why I found all the information about my wife's childbirth. My child was healthy and signed by the doctor when he was born. I don't know where your leukemia came from. Of course you won't admit it. Besides, you can totally fabricate evidence. Wenhong, how have I not treated you well? 2 days ago, I even broke my finger for your third brother. Why do you have to trample on me like this? The shareholders in the audience all shook their heads after hearing the two men's words. Everyone seemed real, and everyone seemed fake. Since you're so heartless, I wouldn't keep tolerating you, would I? Since you want to chase us out of Su Holdings, I'm going to fire you as chairman. Shareholders, what do you think of my suggestion? Everyone has seen Yihong's achievements in Su Holdings over the years. But Su Wenhong has done nothing, and missed the most important opportunity for Su Holdings to rise. Don't forget that Yihong now holds the most advanced research of Su Holdings. How many years of blood, sweat, and tears did he put into it? Who else would Su Holdings' future be passed to if not him? Many of the shareholders nodded at that. More importantly, they were being coerced by Su Yihong's projects. That was also eldest Uncle Su's intention. Is that so? There would be no new projects without Yihong. There would be no new projects without Yihong? That's the funniest joke I've ever heard. A project's development is a team's success. And I really couldn't tell that he could achieve such greatness alone? Papa Su retorted. Looks like you won't shed a tear until you see the coffin. You said that you'd get a lawyer to handle this matter. But I did too. I'd like to see if you could take it if that incident all those years ago was exposed. Eldest Uncle Su said viciously. Since all the shareholders are here, let's settle this today. Let's vote to fire Su Wenhong. The pair of father and son had really underestimated how disgusting they could be. Had the shareholders really fallen for their tricks and decided to take a stand? Perhaps Jing Yin, who was standing by the door, couldn't bear to listen anymore. Hence, he promptly opened the door to the meeting room and faced all the shareholders. Third young Master Su, you're not a member of the board. What are you doing? Director Wen immediately expressed his disgust. I'm laughing, Director Wen. You don't know how to judge the situation. Jing Yin replied. First of all, the shareholders' right to vote is based on the director not carrying out his duty. This is the first time I've heard of a shareholder using family matters as an excuse to remove a chairman. Could it be that your common interest isn't to earn more money, but to see my father fall from power? Second, you should know that my father holds 42% of the voting rights. Are you really going to offend him for Su Wentao and his son? Third, regardless of how Su Yihong became my eldest brother, the police would naturally investigate the matter. I'd advise everyone to be rational and not be used as a tool. Fourth, once the police file the case, it means that all the resources Su Yihong enjoyed because of my father would be frozen. Are you sure you want to support someone who would soon lose everything? Is it worth such a huge risk? The shareholders were troubled once again at Jing Yun's words. You have no right to speak here. Get out. Su Yihong barked at Jing Yun. Who do you think you are in Su Holdings? And who do you think you are? A loud shout suddenly came from the entrance, attracting everyone's attention. Mama Su had arrived at Su Holdings' meeting room with her eldest sister-in-law. Meanwhile, Su Wentao promptly felt guilty when he saw his wife. He had to admit that he hadn't settled things with his wife yet. But he didn't expect Papa Su to beat him to it. Honey, why are you here? We were just talking about back then. Chapter 388. Honey, you can't say that. Yihong is my child after all. That's right, he is your child. Su Wentao's wife's eyes were misty with tears. And it is precisely because he is your child that we are divorcing. I will hand over the evidence of your adultery with another woman to the police, and you will be kicked out of the family with nothing. Honey, By the way, which one of your shareholders has the surname Wen? I have proof of what you and my husband have done. Did you accept his bribe to frame my brother's family? Everyone was taken aback at those words. It turned out that this director Wen had accepted a bribe from the eldest uncle of the Su family. No wonder he was so eager to drag Papa Su off his high horse. And Su Yihong, that bastard. Did you think that Wentao doesn't care about bloodline and wants anyone? How dare a son of a whore fight for the Su family's property? Do you think it's your turn? Su Yihong's face reddened at that. Su Yihong's assets will definitely be frozen if Wentao files a lawsuit. He's a fraud suspect after all. And Su Wentao's assets will be divided when I divorce him. Are you all out of your minds trying to prop him up? When the directors heard this, they immediately felt bored. They said, if we had known this was a family matter, we wouldn't have had to come here. Let's go. You can settle your family matters yourselves. Su Wentao couldn't help narrowing his eyes at that. That whore was ruining his plans at a time like this. The board of directors dispersed, leaving only the Su family in the meeting room, looking at each other in dismay. That was when Su Wentao's wife spoke again. Don't doubt it. Wentao's family and I are on the same side, and we won't rest until you and your father are ruined. Don't forget that the new project is still in my hands. Su Yihong threatened. That. Jing Yin answered Su Yihong. I happen to know some friends, and I told the relevant departments that the project is a huge security risk, so the higher-ups ordered us to stop. Su Yihong's face fell at those words. You really are a family. Nice move. Still not admitting that you abandoned me back then? Su Yihong smiled smugly. What? Do you want to thank me for letting you be a dog for the Sheng family for so many years? Jing Yin then walked to Su Yihong's side and told him softly. I'll let you know what it's like to be a dog for the rest of your life. Ha 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 ha. I'm afraid you won't have the chance. Let me tell your Su family a secret. I still have a bomb in Su Holdings. It's still uncertain who will win. You mean finance department? Yao Yao. Jing Yin asked Su Yihong in return. You really have it easy. Not only did you let someone be your bed partner for years, you even had them help you with falsifying accounts and money laundering. I thought you could really hold the power and marry her. This time, Su Yihong really could not smile anymore. He did not expect Jing Yin to investigate the finance department so quickly. Do you know which department of Huang Yao I first entered when I was a dog of the Sheng family? It's the finance department you love so much. There are losses, but the law can recover them. And if you don't return the money on your own, you won't have the chance to fight for a reduced sentence. Su Yihong stumbled a few steps back at Jing Yin's words. That was when Su Wentao tugged at Jing Yin and said, Let's go. Don't listen to their nonsense. That's right. There's no need to meet in the future. You'll meet the lawyer directly. Papa Su and Mama Su shared a look but said nothing. It was only after Su Yihong and his son left that they asked Jing Yin, How did you find out about the trader in finance so quickly? Where would I have the time to do that? It's just that the lawyer reminded me to clean up Su Holdings accounts this morning. That's why I took a look. And there were only 3 female employees in the finance department. One was married, the other was pregnant, and the most likely one was Yao Yao, who had always been single. That's why I tricked him. Men are the easiest to clash with for profit, but women are different. Give them love, and they would do anything. Papa Su chuckled at that. You're certainly quick-witted. Although we've gotten rid of those 2, it would take a long time to clean up the mess. You might have to work hard for a while, Father. We'll think of a way to resume the project when this is over. Papa Su clapped Jing Yin on the shoulder and nodded. Help out with your mother and eldest aunt in the aftermath, or I'm afraid that father and son would do something to harm them. I understand. Just like that, a chaotic day passed. Even so, the father and son were only chased out of Su Holdings, without any other punishment for the time being. Moreover, they might even flee Jianchuan to a faraway land. That was why he had to think of a way to completely cripple them. Sheng Minglan was beside herself with worry after the incident. Still, she was relieved after hearing Jing Yin's call. At long last, the storm was over. That night, Jing Yin moved back to the Su residence from Jingting, and made a special call before he left. It's been dealt with, so I'm bringing Minglan and mother home. Sorry for the trouble, young master. That Su Yihong is still healthy. How is that dealt with? Sheng Xiao asked in return. There are some things that must be done, and some people won't be grateful just because you let them go. I understand. That was why Jing Yin made a few calls when Sheng Minglan was showering after returning to the Su residence. When Sheng Minglan came out of the shower, Jing Yin was staring blankly at her. Sheng Minglan was sitting on his lap, her sweet scent wafting through the air as she asked, "You haven't slept well over the last few days because of Su Holdings. Take a good bath tonight, and have a good night's sleep." Jingyan couldn't help hugging Sheng Minglan, before sighing tiredly. "I might have to do something you hate." Sheng Minglan stroked his head and said reassuringly, "I know you're talking about Su Yihong. Just do it." Their eyes met in the darkness, and Jingyan couldn't help kissing her softly. Still, how could that kiss satisfy the two of them, who hadn't had a good time over the last few days? In the depth of their love, how would they survive the long night if they didn't linger? Soon, the news that Su Yihong and Su Wentao were father and son spread throughout Su Holdings, and Jingyan's performance at the board meeting won the admiration of his subordinates. Chapter 389. But now, the Crown Prince's path was a little strange. He had actually given up a vast diamond empire, like Huang Yao for Mu Qiqi, abandoning his status as the Crown Prince. Was it all for a love affair? What kind of woman could he not have with such wealth? One could imagine how frightening the charm of the little bride of the Sheng family was. Over the last few days, old Sheng did as promised and did not bother Sheng Xiao or the Shen family. After all, he was having second brother prepare a grand birthday banquet for him. First to announce Gu Ziling's identity, and second to celebrate eighth brother's return. The Sheng family was bustling about for Sheng Zhao's sake, which made the others more or less uncomfortable. After all, he was the one who wanted to leave the Sheng family, and no one forced him. But now the entire Sheng family revolved around him. What kind of logic was that? Be that as it may, the Sheng family was in turmoil, but the person in question was living comfortably at the Shen family. Since the people he dealt with had changed, Sheng Xiao became even more discreet. In other words, he was becoming more black-bellied. Before, he would beat you up on the surface, but now, he would ignore you on the surface and beat you up behind your back. Of course, Mu Qiqi was still fascinated by Sheng Xiao no matter what he was. During dinner at the Shen's house, Grandpa Shen stole a few glances at Sheng Xiao while holding his bowl and chopsticks. Then he said, "I had a chat with a few comrades today, and they talked about you. The son-in-law of the Shen family is really bold. You've just established Zhongting, and you've already secured several important resources. Sheng Xiao, you may be outstanding, but you should know that in this circle, the bird that sticks out gets shot. There's nothing wrong with being discreet." Sheng Xiao looked at his formal attire, and then at his Qi'er innocently, who quickly put down her chopsticks and told the old man, "Grandpa, I can testify that Xiao Xiao is discreet enough. Look, he's even ditching his flashy sports car." The entire family snickered. Now that the Shen family is in the limelight, it's inevitable that someone would try to get hold of us. "Grandpa, as long as we act honorably, anyone who dares to challenge my authority can come at us openly or in the shadows." Old Shen did not know much about business, but he could tell from Sheng Zhao's expression that the child was a natural genius in that regard. "You have to remember what you said today. Otherwise, if you are in trouble in the future, the old man will ignore you. When the matter with the Sheng family is settled, I'll bring Qi'er back to Jingting." "Brat, are you complaining that I talk too much?" The others smiled again. Although Sheng Xiao was staying with the Shen family, he did not put any pressure on the Shen family. What Huang Yu appreciated the most was that Sheng Xiao did not have the weird habit of being difficult to serve like the other young masters. Other than being particular about Mu Qiqi's affairs, he was not picky about other things. He had his own requirements, but he would never make things difficult for others. After dinner, Sheng Xiao was working in the study, while Mu Qiqi was looking for medical books in his shirt. "Jing Yin has settled the matter with the Su family." "Really?" Mu Qiqi stopped what she was doing and turned to look at him. He was originally supposed to be sitting on the sofa, but before she knew it, he had already walked over to her side. He pressed her against the wall and lifted her chin. "Are you trying to seduce me?" I just like your scent on my shirt," Mu Qiqi explained. "Such a clingy little thing." With that, Sheng Xiao kissed her. "Looks like it's going to be hard to work today. You still haven't told me how you settled the matter with the Su family. Let's go to bed." We'll talk as we do it. Muchichi could not help struggling. How could she have the ability to think when that happened? The man really felt uncomfortable every day he did not touch her. Meanwhile, the Sheng family had become a little livelier because of the old man's birthday celebration. Even so, Gu Xiling was still a little out of place with the rest of the Sheng family. There was a proud and aloof side to her, which was the conclusion second brother had come to after observing her for some time. Are you unhappy because my mother didn't take good care of you? Gu Xiling was drinking alone in the Sheng residence's garden when she turned to second brother and explained, No, Auntie is taking good care of him. But I realized that the Sheng family and the Gu family aren't that much better. I heard that the crown prince always has his own residence and never stays with the Sheng family, right? He's used to being free and doesn't like being restrained. Second brother replied. Incidentally, it was what she liked. Although she had agreed to the marriage with the Sheng family, she did not want to live in the cage that was the Sheng family. If she could come to an agreement with Sheng Xiao, she could move out for real. I heard that the young bride of the Sheng family is a forensics student at Shengting University. Yes, that's what Grandpa is most displeased about. Second brother smiled. Still, I admire Muchichi's persistence in not changing herself for anyone. Since I can't meet the crown prince in private, could you let me meet Muchichi, second brother? I want to see what kind of girl the crown prince likes. Second brother studied her body for a moment before answering. You're very beautiful. You don't have to please eighth brother. She was just trying to increase her bargaining chips. I'm just feeling too stuffy and want to go out for some fresh air. All right, second brother replied. It was certainly difficult to meet Sheng Xiao, but he still had some ways to meet Muchichi. I hope Grandpa wouldn't blame me for making the decision on my own when he finds out. Still, I heard that Xiao Qi is working as an assistant in the forensics lab, which is why the place I would meet her might not be that clean. It's fine. Gu Xiling insisted. All right, I'll let you know when I've made the arrangements. Thank you, second brother. Gu Xiling thanked second brother, naturally with a respectful tone. Second brother smiled but said nothing else. Rest early. I still have to fetch third brother from the airport. Go ahead. Gu Xiling nodded. Muchichi had been out with the professor over the last few days, which was why she was not just at the forensics lab. Second brother only had to ask around to find out where Muchichi was. This time, someone had found the highly decomposed corpse by the roadside of a highway in the suburbs and called the police. To give Muchichi more training, the professor had brought her to the scene for a preliminary autopsy. Right now, Muchichi insisted on not wearing a mask, since forensics could determine many things others did not know through smell. Even so, the scene was really stinky. Chapter 390. Muchichi promptly stepped forward, wearing white gloves to observe and touch the corpse. There are obvious blunt force wounds on the left side of the head. There are shards of bricks in the wound, and based on the shape of the wound, the murder weapon is a soft stone or brick. There isn't much bleeding. Although the face is pale and the neck groove is obvious, there are no signs of struggle or defense. We can't rule out the possibility of death by hanging after death. Moreover, there are many contusions on the body. We can't determine what tool was used to cause these injuries, and there are no signs of violation. Either way, none of the injuries on the body are fatal, which is why the cause of death has to be further examined. Moreover, the scene is very clean, and there are no signs of dragging. This is probably not a crime scene, but a place where the body was dumped. That is why we can only get more information from the corpse after further tests. After reading it, the professor nodded and ordered the others to come forward. The other experienced forensic doctors came to a similar conclusion as Muchichi. You're becoming more and more like a forensic doctor. The professor was pleased. You're a quick learner. That's because you've taught me well. Muchichi quickly said. It was also because of this female corpse that Muchichi and the forensics team were searching for useful information at the scene. Meanwhile, Gu Xiling had parked her sports car not far away, pretending to be an onlooker and seeing Muchichi in her white coat. Naturally, She did not miss the part where Mu Qiqi examined the corpse. Still, the corpse was already so disgusting, and yet a girl like her could touch it without batting an eyelid. That alone showed that this girl was not someone ordinary men could control. As expected of a crown prince, young ladies of noble families and socialites might sound elegant, but they were all soulless porcelain dolls. They were all the same, and there was nothing new in comparing family and wealth. But Mu Qiqi was clearly different. That girl is the original bride of the Sheng family. Didn't the two families break off the engagement? The Sheng family probably can't accept a daughter-in-law working with a dead person. Still, she's only 19. She's really capable. Gu Xiling drove away after hearing the comments about Mu Qiqi. She did not intend to disturb Mu Qiqi. Gu Xiling became even more curious about Sheng Xiao because of Mu Qiqi. The crown prince of the Sheng family must not be any ordinary person to have taken a liking to such an interesting and real soul. There was no way Mu Qiqi would know that Gu Xiling had visited her. It was only when she returned to the bureau that she received the news that the victim was likely a young lady from an aristocratic family in Jianchuan. Although she really wanted to see the professor's autopsy to know the real cause of death and the identity of the corpse, she was really busy today. You have to pay special attention too. It's really not safe for girls to go out these days. Junior sister, find some time to learn taekwondo or boxing. Mu Qiqi smiled after hearing the senior's suggestion. I appreciate your kindness, but I really don't need it. Apart from visiting the forensics lab, she rarely went out alone. Xiao Xiao was always by her side. However, after seeing more cases recently, she also understood that in this world, the living were far more terrifying than the dead. For example, a female university student was killed by a taxi driver a few days ago. Mu Qiqi simply could not understand why a girl would sit in the front passenger seat, even if she was hailing a taxi. Most girls nowadays did not have that kind of awareness. Soon, the corpse's identity was ascertained. It turned out to be the daughter of one of Huang Yao's business partners. The real cause of death was the rupture of the organs in her abdomen, caused by those contusions. The matter soon spread among the nobles. Naturally, they would spread the fact that a certain person's daughter was gone just like that, and that it was Mu Qiqi who performed the autopsy on her. When old Master Sheng heard about it, he felt very upset. The thought of Mu Qiqi doing such unlucky things and having to deal with corpses every day was revolting. How could he like her? In comparison, the young lady of the Gu family had the air of a true rich young lady. Breaking off the engagement with the Shen family is the best thing I've done. If this goes on, I don't know if I could hold it until my birthday. Second brother was helpless at the old man's huge reaction. It was probably because the older generation would find it hard to accept Mu Qiqi's occupation. Old Shen heard the rumors as well, but his opinion differed from old Sheng's. After all, he only felt sorry for a girl like Mu Qiqi, doing things that no man could do. Since Mu Qiqi was adapting well, he was instead proud of his granddaughter after hearing the rumors outside. Before, he had thought that it did not matter if old Sheng liked her. And now, he had even less reason to be wary of him still. The matter was spreading like wildfire. What do you think of Mu Qiqi after visiting her? Second brother could not help asking Gu Xiling in his free time. She seemed to have hidden herself even deeper after arranging for her to meet Mu Qiqi. She doesn't seem to win against me in terms of posture, manners or family background. But she's too special. Gu Xiling answered second brother after some thought. Would you grant them their wish just because of that? No one has ever granted me that wish. Moreover, it was not something she could decide. Perhaps I would have an answer when I meet the crown prince. In second brother's eyes, Gu Xiling was elegant and a little solitary, and would definitely not be happy if she really married eighth brother. Before this, everyone had been guessing what kind of woman Sheng Xiao would like, but they only realized after Mu Qiqi appeared that Sheng Xiao himself could not understand his own preferences. Second brother assumed that Gu Xiling would not try to win him over so easily, since Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi were too close. However, after meeting Mu Qiqi, Gu Xiling entered old Sheng's study and told him, "Didn't you ask me who I like to be my husband, Grandpa Sheng?" Old Sheng stared at Gu Xiling, guessing that the child had really taken a liking to second brother. After all, she had made up her mind without even meeting eighth brother. If that was not favoring second brother, what was it? I want to know when the crown prince would return. Old Sheng was taken aback at that, but relaxed. After all, Gu Xiling was prepared for eighth brother. Chapter 391. Alright. Since the crown prince has decided to return to the Sheng family, I'll tell my parents that I've chosen that man. Gu Xiling replied, looking at the old man. No, Xiling. I'm confused. You've been interacting more with second brother these days. Why? I'll only choose the strongest man. Gu Xiling answered matter-of-factly. If Sheng Xiao returned to the Sheng family, it meant that he had given up on Mu Qiqi. And since he had given up on her, she did not have to pity her. After all, Mu Qiqi was so young that she could find any man she wanted. On the other hand, if she was not the young master of the Sheng family, she would find a man from another family. As such, it was better for her to choose a man who would never love her. That way, she would be free and relaxed. Then I'll announce on that day that the two of you are engaged. Thank you, Grandpa Sheng. If Sheng Xiao wanted to keep seeing Mu Qiqi, or have children with her, she would treat them as her own. However, she would not give up her safe haven so easily. Even so, why should Mu Qiqi give way to her? Even ordinary women had the right to pursue happiness. What more when Mu Qiqi was the young lady of the great Shen family? The two's plan was a little too brilliant. Outside, second brother and third brother heard their conversation in the study. Second brother's hand, which had been holding the documents, dropped and passed it to third brother. Give these to Grandpa. Second brother. Third brother caught up to second brother. Tell me the truth. Do you like Miss Gu? No matter what my feelings are, Miss Gu has made her choice. Isn't that right, Grandpa? Gu Xiling's declaration that she would only choose the strongest man was like a sharp blade stabbing into second brother's heart. Third brother couldn't bear it and kept chasing after him. Ever since he was young, the one who understands eighth brother the most is not eldest aunt, not grandfather, and definitely not you. It's me. Do you think eighth brother would come back? That has nothing to do with me. With that, second brother promptly left, striding like a shooting star. Third brother took a deep breath, feeling indignant for second brother. Could grandfather not see how hard second brother had worked to maintain the stability of the Sheng family after eighth brother left? However, the position of the heir and Miss Gu's marriage were all prepared for Sheng Xiao, which was unfair. Hence third brother called Sheng Xiao. Eighth brother, it's third brother. I want to see you. Sheng Xiao smirked. It seemed that his third brother was here to deliver a message. Tell me the place. I'll come find you. Are you still living in the Shen family? He was a live-in son-in-law. If he did not live in the Shen family, where would he live? Forget it. 8 o'clock tonight, Empire Hotel. Let me make it clear first. I'm broke, and I bring my family here to freeload. Oh, whatever. Third brother's temper was not as steady as second brother's. He was a little impatient, but he had a sense of justice. Right now, the Sheng family was counting on those two. At 7:30, third brother could not help being stunned when he saw Mu Qiqi at the hotel. Even if you're down and out now, you don't have to be so discreet, do you? You've never worn such formal clothes before. Have you changed? Sheng Xiao pulled out a chair for Mu Qiqi to take a seat, before introducing. This is third brother. And this is Mu Qiqi. Alright, I'm getting calluses in my ears because of what happened to you. Third brother sighed helplessly. But did you know eighth brother? Even if you're like this, grandfather would still leave you with the best, the position of heir to the Sheng family. And Sheng Xiao glanced at Xiao Qi'er at that, before answering third brother. Because he knows very well that I could make Huang Yao grow to its greatest height in the shortest time possible. And you're still thinking about the Gu family's marriage, aren't you? What do you mean he's giving me the best if it's not what I want? I'm just a tool for him. And he only wants Huang Yao. I just want to know, will you come back for grandfather's birthday? That Miss Gu is staying in our house. And second brother and I heard with our own eyes that she chose you. That's why grandfather is planning to settle the marriage between you and Miss Gu during the birthday celebration. What do you think? Sheng Xiao laughed heartily at those words. I only said that I would give him an explanation. When did I say that I'm going back to the Sheng family? Don't I know you? Why would grandfather think that if you didn't deliberately lead him? Sheng Xiao looked at the red wine in front of him and took a sip elegantly, before continuing with a smile. Well, let him think so. What are you going to do? Although second brother doesn't say it, I can feel that he's already upset, and he seems to like that Miss Gu. I have nothing to tell you now, but there's one thing I'm sure of. I'll never step through the gates of the Sheng family for the rest of my life. Even if it's like this, with nothing? Yes, even if it's like this with nothing. If you really care for second brother, don't mention a word about our meeting today to the Sheng family, and act as if you don't know anything. That was what third brother had guessed. I didn't know that you hate grandfather so much. Yes, so much that I don't want to hear about him for the rest of my life. That said, I've heard a lot about you recently. Didn't you perform a ritual on that poor business partner's daughter? The old man's face darkened when he heard about it. I've never seen him look so terrible. Third brother teased. You two treasures, you've tortured me so much. Since you're sure that you won't return to the Sheng family, I'll do everything I can to help second brother and set him up with Miss Gu. Good luck, Sheng Xiao said calmly. Don't make too much of a fuss on grandfather's birthday, since you're getting old. Could he flaunt his seniority just because he was old? As for that Miss Gu, she could not get what she wanted. Why would she want to tear others apart? Could it be that she couldn't see others happy just because she was unlucky? That said, could you show me your knife skills, little sister-in-law? Third brother deeply admired those callous professions. I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to eat if I really cut it. Muchichi joked. I'll do my best to give you face. Muchichi snorted and nodded, at least fulfilling one of third brother's wishes. Chapter 392. Despite the old man's deep-rooted prejudice, third brother really admired a girl like Muchichi. After all, other socialites were studying the four arts, while she was thinking about how to dismember corpses. How cool was that? Whatever the case, third brother could not hate Muchichi. Perhaps because the two of them had something in common. They were naturally optimistic. The trio had a simple dinner that night, but before they left, third brother stuffed a gold card into Sheng Xiao's hand. Even if you're willing to be a live-in son-in-law, don't let the Shen family bully you. Consider this a little treasury I'm giving you. Sheng Xiao raised a brow. Did he really take it seriously? What you have isn't even enough for me to buy a season's worth of clothes for cheap. Eighth brother, can't you be a little more frugal now that you're in such dire straits? Sheng Xiao smiled meaningfully and answered third brother. Keep it for yourself. You could use it when you marry sister-in-law. You're still complaining, you deserve to die of poverty. My temper really can't stand how prideful you are. Sheng Xiao clapped him on the shoulder nonchalantly. Third brother really thinks of you as a brother if he knows to save you. And yet you're hitting him. On the way back, Muchichi could not help nagging at Sheng Xiao. Xiao, it's quite pitiful that you're so poor now. What a reckless little thing. Her husband was not poor, all right? Though he had left Huang Yao, Zhongting had risen to prominence. Moreover, his supporters were no longer businessmen, but people with status, and were easy to get things done. At first, I thought that Miss Gu was quite pitiful because she was forced by her family. But now, I suddenly feel that there's something hateful about her too. What? Are you afraid that she'll steal your man? Do I have to give it to her if she does? Muchichi retorted matter-of-factly. Unless you don't want me anymore. Anyone could try to steal you from me. Sheng Xiao felt very pleased at that. He did not dote on her for nothing. Still, you really need to hurry up on your relationship with the Sheng family, so that second brother can fully open his arms. What's the hurry? It's just 10 days. With those words, Sheng Xiao sped home. As expected, third brother did not tell anyone about his meeting with Sheng Xiao, including second brother whom he wanted to help. Since Sheng Xiao had decided to cut ties with the Sheng family, he would definitely make a big move at Grandpa Sheng's birthday banquet to make Grandpa Sheng give up completely. Therefore he couldn't tell her, not even to his second brother. Be that as it may, Third brother happened to run into the Gu family, having dinner at home when he reached home. And judging from the Gu family's attitude, they must have come to confirm Gu Xiling and Sheng Zhao's marriage. Just as eighth brother had said, the old master had been using him as a bargaining chip from the beginning to the end. Third bro, where have you been this late at night? You don't even know how to call for help. It's fine, old Sheng. I'll leave Xiling's matter to you. I hope you can handle it well, and don't let our Xiling suffer. Mama Gu told old Sheng. Don't worry, in-law. Now that Xiling has entered the Sheng family, she is the only granddaughter-in-law I'll acknowledge. But what if the crown prince doesn't come back? Don't worry. He has promised to give me an answer. And it's clear that he isn't used to living a life without power or influence. Think about it. Would a rich young master really lower himself to become a son-in-law of the Shin family? Or a member of the Shin family? Grandpa Sheng's answer was firm, and without a hint of hesitation. He really didn't understand eighth brother. Third brother shook his head. Then, he looked at second brother's expression. There was no change at all from beginning to end, and there was no telling how upset he must be. Eighth brother isn't the only one in the family. You should take care of us too, grandfather. The old man did a double take and glared at third brother. Third brother was nonchalant, but he especially noticed that the young lady of the Gu family was cold and conceited. He was starting to wonder if he should help his second brother matchmake the two of them. She clearly knew that eighth brother already had a lover, and yet she insisted on choosing him. There was no telling what she was thinking. That was why the young lady of the Gu family was nothing but trash before Xiaoqi. No matter how excellent she thought herself to be. There's only 10 days left. Just bear with it for now. 10 days was enough for eighth brother to stir up a lot of trouble. After dinner, third brother did not want second brother to suffer in the living room, and dragged him out. Don't you feel bad looking at that young lady of the Gu family? But I feel bad. I feel bad holding it in. She didn't offend you, second brother. Which part of you doesn't deserve her? Feelings can't be forced. Well, I'll take you out and introduce you to a few sensible ones. Third brother suggested. Second brother pushed him away and returned to his room. In truth, he knew very well that Gu Xiling was a proud and aloof person. But there were many factors that combined to push him into a dead end. 10 days was it? When eighth brother returned, he could leave the country again. When that happens, he would no longer have to care about the Sheng family. Nor would he have to work so hard without anyone seeing or being grateful. Perhaps, in the eyes of the Sheng family, Sheng Xiao really had nothing now. Late at night, Grandpa Sheng called Mama Sheng and asked her to come home with him, so that she could truly witness her son's happiness. Mama Sheng was displeased at that. Could eighth brother be breaking up with Mu Qiqi because he couldn't handle the pressure? Father, that young lady of the Gu family is the daughter-in-law you'd like, not us. I don't think we should come back and spoil your mood. You really don't know what's good for you. The old man hung up angrily. Could it be that his daughter-in-law was still thinking about Mu Qiqi? What kind of spell had Mu Qiqi fed her? Unable to figure it out, Mama Sheng promptly called Sheng Xiao for confirmation. I heard that you're getting engaged to the young lady of the Gu family again? Did the old man say that? Sheng Xiao asked innocently. He wouldn't have told me if he wasn't sure, so that I could come back and witness your true happiness. Mom, you could definitely come back for the old man's birthday banquet in 10 days. It was clear from her son's words that there was something else going on. I won't forgive you for the rest of my life if you let Xiaoqi down. Sheng Xiao frowned slightly at that, and turned to look at the little one lying on the bed. Who was the biological one here? Xiao Xiao, what are you mumbling about? Time to sleep. Mu Qiqi murmured with her eyes closed as if she could hear Sheng Xiao talking on the phone. Sheng Xiao's heart softened at that. Chapter 393. Everything related to the Su family would go through the legal process. Meanwhile, Su Yihong and his father were sued by Papa Su for fraud. Still, Jing Yun did not do anything to Su Yihong before he was taken into custody, and merely had someone keep an eye on him to prevent the father and son from escaping. Surprisingly, however, Su Yihong did not try to escape. Perhaps he knew that he could not escape even if he had wings. Still, he refused to answer any of the police's questions in the detention center, unless he could see Jing Yun. I wonder what he wants from you. Is he up to something? Sheng Minglan was a little worried. He can't do anything in the police station. Don't worry, I'll be back soon. Jing Yun assured her. Sheng Minglan nodded, but still reminded him, be careful. Jing Yun had assumed that Su Yihong would struggle over the matter, since there was still room for it. Even if he did not struggle, he would still try to escape. And yet he stayed willingly? Jing Yun was puzzled, until he saw Su Yihong in the detention center. Shackled and with his head lowered, Su Yihong smiled when he saw Jing Yun. It's good to see you again. Tell me why you would risk your life to see me. Jing Yun cut to the chase, not wanting to waste time on Su Yihong. I shouldn't have been so soft-hearted and abandoned you. Su Yihong kept smiling, but soon started crying again. If I had cut the weeds and cut the roots, none of this would have happened. If that's all you want to tell me, I'm leaving. Yao Yao is pregnant, my child. If you could save the child, I would willingly tell you everything I've done over the years. Su Yihong said to Jing Yun's back. Although I've been using Yao Yao all along, it's only when I've truly fallen that I realized that only that foolish woman would do anything for me. She wants to give birth to the child, which is why I need your help. Help you raise the child, so that he could take revenge on me? Jing Yun turned and asked Su Yihong in return. Don't let him know that he has a father like me. I could pay for your real brother's death with my own mother's abuse. Jing Yun had already guessed that. I will save the child, but don't forget your promise. As long as the child is born, you will get what you want. Jing Yun didn't say anything else. He didn't want Su Yihong to die either. He just wanted Su Yihong to live a life worse than death. And let the police come in. Jing Yun did not expect Su Yihong to have a shred of humanity left in him. Of course, Jing Yun wouldn't believe Su Yihong's words so easily. Naturally, he would carry out multiple investigations to ascertain the truth. He could ensure the birth of Su Yihong's child, but he would never provide it with a privileged life. Several days passed in a short period of time. Old Sheng's birthday banquet was just around the corner. To ensure that nothing would happen to Sheng Xiao, Old Sheng called Sheng Xiao 2 days before the birthday banquet. It was a reminder to him. You haven't forgotten our promise, have you? Have you settled your personal affairs? Of course not, Sheng Xiao replied. That's good. Grandpa will wait for you. Sheng Xiao said nothing else and simply hung up. He had arranged to play golf with Secretary He today, which was why he was at the golf course at the moment. Secretary He chuckled when he saw that Sheng Xiao had finished his private call. I heard that something big is going to happen to the Sheng family in 2 days. Shouldn't you return as the heir? I've heard about it too, Secretary He. Sheng Xiao smiled and stood beside Secretary He. Sheng Xiao, you are now half an insider. There are many things you need to learn to keep a low profile. Since you are the CEO of Zhongting, why would you care about being the heir of Huang Yao? Am I right? You really do have a pair of sharp eyes, Secretary He. Young man, how could I not know what you're working so hard for? It's only when your life is in your own hands that you wouldn't have lived in vain. Take care of the Sheng family well, and don't make it too ugly. Sheng Xiao smiled nonchalantly. ***** On the day before old Sheng's birthday banquet, Gu Xiling suddenly suggested to the old man. Since the crown prince would be there tomorrow anyway, why don't we have him return to the Sheng family tonight? That way, I could get to know him better. And it wouldn't be too awkward for you, Grandpa Sheng. Old Sheng thought that Gu Xiling's suggestion was not wrong. Since he was going home anyway, what did it matter if it was a day earlier or a day later? Grandpa, you seem to have forgotten that you've already removed 8th brother's room. 6th brother reminded the old man just in time, because he really did not want to see Sheng Xiao return home. How could Grandpa not think of that 6th brother? He has already restored 8th brother's room to its original state. 3rd brother retorted, that's why your worry is unnecessary. That's good. Since the whole family revolves around 8th brother, wouldn't the whole family be upset if he doesn't come home comfortably? Those words left a sour taste in 6th brother's mouth. Therefore, old Sheng ignored him and told 2nd brother, you and 3rd brother, go to the Shun's residence and bring 8th brother home. I'll go, Grandpa. Second brother has things to do. Third brother said. That works too. I'll go with you. Gu Xiling turned to third brother. Miss Gu, don't. No one knows eighth brother's temper. And I wouldn't be able to explain if he doesn't come home when he sees you. Third brother said sarcastically, and strode out of the Sheng family's living room. He did not like Gu Xiling, and it was not just in his face, but in his words as well. And the reason third brother accepted the task was because he knew that eighth brother would never do as the old man wished. That was why he was going with a luxurious convoy. But he knew very well that eighth brother would not simply listen to his orders. The Shen family soon found third brother's convoy outside and informed Huang Yu. At that, Huang Yu went to Mu Qiqi's room. Eighth brother isn't home yet? He's playing golf with Secretary He. He's on the way home. What's the matter, second aunt? The Sheng family has sent someone to fetch eighth brother, and the convoy is waiting outside. Do as you see fit. Huang Yu clapped Mu Qiqi on the shoulder. After all, tomorrow was a major event for the Sheng family. Chapter 394. Got it, second aunt. Mu Qiqi nodded and rose to her feet. She went to the Shen's residence and greeted third brother when she found him leaning against the car door. It's already so late. Still out on a mission? Is eighth brother around? He's not back yet. Mu Qiqi replied. But he'll be back soon. What, are you in a hurry to bring Xiao home tonight? Third brother waved her off. Leaning against the car door with a bottle of red wine, he was enjoying himself. How could I bring him away? Still, he's broke now. Why would he be out in the middle of the night? Mu Qiqi couldn't help laughing at that. What are you laughing at? Is Xiao really that lazy in third brother's eyes? Mu Qiqi retorted. Third brother was puzzled and raised a brow at Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi did a double take before turning to third brother. Have you heard of Zhongting, third brother? Third brother thought about it and nodded. I've heard of it. It's a newly established military company. Then why do you still think that Xiao is broke? Third brother did a double take at Mu Qiqi's words, and only pointed at her after a moment. Did eighth brother set it up? To be precise, my father and Xiao did it together. Third brother sneered as if understanding something. No wonder eighth brother is so sure that he won't return to the Sheng family. He's actually setting up his own business, but keeping a low profile isn't his style. Xiao said that you're trustworthy, third brother, which is why I'm not afraid to tell you. The business partners he's working with now aren't ordinary people, and they don't like him being in the limelight. Third brother was pleased with the first half of Mu Qiqi's words. He was very pleased that eighth brother found him trustworthy. Poor old Sheng. He wanted him to return and inherit Huang Yao, but he didn't expect that he wouldn't even care for what little Huang Yao has left. The old man even thought that eighth brother treasures his inheritance. Soon, Su Che drove him back to the Shen's residence. When Sheng Xiao saw that Qi'er was with third brother, he told Su Che to go home and went to them. Are you having a drink in the Shen's territory? You're quite carefree. Third brother turned to Sheng Xiao and smiled. Eighth brother, you've hidden yourself too well. Now that the old man has sent me to fetch you, what do you think we should do? Sheng Xiao looked at Mu Qiqi. Seeing that she came out in a white sweater, he took off his coat and put it on her. Go in if you're cold. That's not necessary. I want to know what you plan to do tomorrow. Mu Qiqi looked at him and crossed her arms. Is it necessary to hide it from me? It's not that I want to hide it from you. I just don't want you to see the faces of the Sheng family. Sheng Xiao stroked her head. Go in. My face is very good. Third brother couldn't help interrupting. No, eighth brother. I think you should go back to the Sheng family tonight. Do you know how much I want to see you reject Miss Gu? Second brother likes this woman, but she's trying her best to separate you and little sister-in-law. Little sister-in-law, can you lend eighth brother to me tonight? I promise I'll return him in one piece tomorrow. Look, I can't explain myself if eighth brother doesn't go back with me, right? I know you've said that you don't want to step foot into the Sheng family again. But if you leave the Sheng family for good, don't you want them to give up on you? I know you're worried about little sister-in-law, so bring her along. Mu Qiqi was stunned at that, and pointed at her own nose. I don't want to see the Sheng family. You don't have to. You're coming with us. And I'll hide you in eighth brother's room. Third brother said. Eighth brother, I know very well that you are the CEO of Zhongting now. You do what you have to do tomorrow. I'll just be in charge and make sure nothing goes wrong. What do you say? The old man would never hand over his burden to anyone else if you don't sever ties with him completely. Third brother was trying to move her emotionally and rationally, his words full of temptation. What do you think, Chier? The man was the most cunning of them all. He would always leave the decision to her. Are you sure we'll come out unscathed? Sheng Xiao replied calmly, lowering his head to look at the watch on his wrist. Su Che has already made all the necessary arrangements. But since third brother is coming to fetch us, I'll have to bring forward the plan. Mu Qiqi nodded. Since that's what you want to do, just do it. In fact, I also want to see how different Miss Gu is from ordinary people. Why talk so much then? Get in. In no time at all, old Sheng received a call from third brother. Eighth brother was already on his way back. It seemed that he had really severed ties with the Shen family. He knew it. Why would the great crown prince of Huang, Yao, be willing to become a son-in-law who married into the Shen family? How could Sheng Xiao tolerate that with his temper? Old Sheng was so happy that he immediately told everyone the news. Eighth brother will be home in 20 minutes. Get ready. Old Six snorted coldly. He had thought that Old Three would return in defeat if he went to receive it. He did not expect that eighth brother would only have such a temper. Soon, the car pulled into the Sheng family's parking lot. Third brother told Mu Qiqi, I'll have someone bring you to eighth brother's room right away. Change your clothes and pretend to be a servant. I'll arrange for you to stand far away if you want to watch the show, or wait in eighth brother's room if you don't want to. I'm just here to watch the show, Mu Qiqi quickly said. Sheng Xiao pinched his little one's nose. Did she really like watching him tear a bitch apart that much? Although helpless, Sheng Xiao agreed to let his little one dress up. You'll be in charge of her safety. What's wrong with that? I'll come out after I go in with you to settle little sister-in-law down. Sheng Xiao nodded and got out of the car. Still, he found the familiar house very strange. Old Sheng wanted to use him, which was why he had pushed him to the highest position. But what about the others in the Sheng family? They looked one way in front of others, and another behind the scenes. He was already tired of such a life. That was why he only wanted to create a future for his little one that no one would dare to offend. Go in. Third brother knew what Sheng Xiao was thinking, and so reminded him. This is the last time. Think of it as giving face to third brother. I won't mention your identity to anyone else. Meanwhile, old Sheng had led the Sheng family to the door to welcome them. Eighth brother, you finally know to come home. Chapter 395. You. But before sixth brother could say anything, Sheng Xiao strode into the Sheng family's living room as usual. Mu Qiqi had seen everything from inside the car, and finally understood why Sheng Xiao insisted on leaving the Sheng family. Although he appeared to be the crown prince of the Sheng family, none of the Sheng family members around him were sincere. They relied on him, used him, mocked him, and even schemed against him. Everyone knew that Sheng Xiao was powerful, but none knew that the crown prince of Huang Yao was a man of flesh and blood. Come out, little sister. I'll take you to change. Third brother quickly said. Meanwhile, the entire Sheng family had returned to the living room. However, the old man did not let Gu Xiling show herself to maintain a sense of mystery, which was to give Sheng Xiao a little mystery and surprise. Eighth brother, I thought you were serious this time. I didn't expect that it's still your trick to torture me. I thought that you would learn your lesson from seventh sister, sixth brother. Why is your mouth still so annoying? Sheng Xiao retorted. Didn't you dump Mu Qiqi, even though you care about her so much? Because she's not as important as your position as the crown prince. Why would you pretend to be a good person in front of me? Sixth brother. It was taboo for old Sheng to hear Mu Qiqi's name now. Eighth brother finally came back. If you piss him off again, you'd better get out of here too. Sixth brother was upset, but turned away and said nothing else. Sheng Xiao did not explain either. What's wrong with that? Either way, sixth brother would see how good I am, wouldn't he? Don't say things that hurt family ties now that you're back. Don't mention anything about Mu Chi-Chi in the family. And you haven't met the young lady of the Gu family, have you? You could meet her today. That's the highlight, isn't it? Sheng Xiao leaned back on the sofa and did not refuse. Still, he raised a brow when he looked up to find a familiar figure standing upstairs. He did not expect that Chia looked good in a white coat and looked quite different in servant clothes. He would let her show him alone in the future. As a matter of fact, Gu Xiling had been upstairs watching Sheng Xiao for a long time. This man was really dangerous. He was like a fully armed monster, full of uncertainty. He was indeed as arrogant as the rumors said. Looking at his eyes, he should also be decisive and ruthless enough. Sure enough, a good man, placed in a group of men, would have his own special points. Gu Xiling curled her lips. She was satisfied with this man. Soon, the butler came upstairs and asked Gu Xiling to go downstairs. She was also prepared to meet Sheng Xiao, so she naturally dressed up nicely. Mu Chi-Chi looked at Gu Xiling from different angles and suddenly found the woman familiar. Soon, Gu Xiling came downstairs and approached everyone, while old Sheng promptly smiled at Sheng Xiao. This is an important guest of the Sheng family. Come and get acquainted. He looked up at Gu Xiling. She was indeed beautiful, but she was not as seductive as Xiao Qi'er upstairs. Gu Xiling was arrogant, so she would not take the initiative to show goodwill. Grandpa Sheng glanced at Gu Xiling and said to Sheng Xiao, "Why aren't you moving? This is Xiling." In other words, he was reminding Sheng Xiao to take the initiative. Sensing the little one's gaze upstairs, Sheng Xiao did not do as the old man wished. "Grandfather, do you know how seventh sister offended me in the beginning?" The old man's face darkened. After all, Sheng Xiao was hinting that he would do something lowly like seventh sister. The night before Qi'er and I were about to get engaged, Sister Seven sent her friend to my room. How unfortunate to see such a scene today. Do you really think that I lack women? What nonsense are you talking about? Or is there something good in the family? For example, you're remarrying, grandfather? Well, I'll have to congratulate you. Grandpa Sheng promptly turned to Gu Xiling, only to find her telling Sheng Xiao, "The crown prince must have misunderstood me. Have you forgotten your ex-boyfriend so quickly?" Sheng Xiao asked in return, his gaze unusually sharp. Gu Xiling really did not expect that Sheng Xiao would be so unscrupulous about such things. Why did he always appear so open and bold? "I'll forget. You might forget your favorite, but I don't intend to forget my Xiao Qi." Sheng Xiao's tone was matter-of-fact, and he added when he saw Gu Xiling's expression turn sour. "You seem nervous, Miss Gu. What, are you afraid of me?" Of course she was afraid of his mouth. Eighth brother. How could you embarrass Miss Gu in front of so many people? Grandpa Sheng quickly stepped forward to stop them from continuing their conversation. "I've always been like this. Is this the first day you met me?" Sheng Xiao appeared dangerous and cynical. "Don't you know? I'm going to announce tomorrow." "Announce what?" The old man paused halfway through his sentence. He had wanted to say that he would announce Sheng Xiao and Gu Xiling's engagement tomorrow, but given Sheng Xiao's temper, he would definitely be reluctant if he knew about it in advance. With that being the case, it was better to leave the main event for tomorrow. "Since you're back, we'll talk about it later. There's always a chance." "Eighth brother, since you're back, I'll take it that you've chosen Huang Yao in the Sheng family. Don't mention Mu Chi-Chi again, since your identities are different." "Do you mean there's no difference between Miss Gu and me?" "Miss Gu is a guest. You have to take good care of her. Don't target others like this. Miss Gu is so cold. She shouldn't be afraid of me targeting her." Sheng Xiao smiled playfully. "Things seem to be fun. I'm suddenly looking forward to tomorrow. Go back to your room and rest. Come back to work in Huang Yao from the day after tomorrow. And second brother, go to eighth brother's room for the handover." "No need," Sheng Xiao quickly said. "We'll talk about it the day after tomorrow." Since Sheng Xiao was back, Grandpa Sheng did not think that Sheng Xiao would leave, which was why he was not in a hurry. And looking at Sheng Xiao's plain attire, he knew that he must have been looked down upon by the Xin family. Be a good crown prince of Huang Yao. There are some things you can't force, and those ill-fated relationships should be severed. Celebrate Grandpa's birthday tomorrow. Chapter 396. The old man flashed a rare smile at Sheng Xiao's words. Sheng Xiao did not say anything else. He simply glanced upstairs, but the corridor was empty. Sheng Xiao returned to his familiar room and saw Mu Qiqi taking off her clothes. He quickly reached out to stop her. I haven't seen enough. Mu Qiqi was taken aback. She glared at Sheng Xiao. You like this dress? No, I like you. Sheng Xiao lifted Mu Qiqi's chin. You can wear it for me when we get home tomorrow. You don't have to wear underwear. Mu Qiqi blushed at once. Just the thought of that scene was enough to make her explode. She had thought that Sheng Xiao did not like women to be too exposed. But, you always surprise me. There's something on the table that the old man gave you. Go and have a look. Sheng Xiao tilted his head and saw the documents on the table. It was the shares he had given away before. Now it was back in his hands. Sheng Xiao did not think much about it. He called Su Che and asked him to make the necessary arrangements. Tomorrow would be even more fun. Mu Qiqi changed and walked to Sheng Xiao. She sat on his lap. Why did you call Su Che? Of course. Tomorrow's show will be more exciting. Sheng Xiao replied. What do you want? To make the old man hate me to the bone. Mu Qiqi became serious at Sheng Xiao's words. Do you really have to pay such a big price to be with me? I would do it tomorrow even without you. Because he would not let anyone control his life. It was only a matter of time before his relationship with the old man reached this point. Mu Qiqi had to admit that the old man was greedy, snobbish, stubborn, and dictatorial. He treated his children and grandchildren as playthings and chess pieces. Others could live a painful life under his control. But that person would never include him. Mu Qiqi thought about it. In the end, she held Sheng Xiao's hand gently. From the day I fell in love with you, I chose a path to advance and retreat with you. So, no matter what you do tomorrow, I will bear the consequences with you. Silly thing. Sheng Xiao held Mu Qiqi's hand. Their fingers intertwined. Tomorrow was destined to be a lively day. The next morning, third brother knocked on Sheng Xiao's door. He had prepared breakfast for Mu Qiqi in advance. I'm afraid that my little sister-in-law won't have breakfast. How is it? Am I considerate? Third brother asked Sheng Xiao excitedly. However, Sheng Xiao could not be bothered with him. Eighth brother, today is Grandpa's big day, and you're dressed like this? He was wearing a very formal black suit and white shirt. He didn't look as flashy as he used to, and he didn't look as dangerous and cynical. Take good care of Cheer later. What are you going to do today? At the moment, third brother was very curious about Sheng Xiao. Grandpa is going to introduce Miss Gu to the guests soon. Can you sit still? You just have to watch what I want to do. There's no need to say anything else. Third brother had come to test him because he was uncertain, but he did not expect Sheng Xiao to be so secretive. Even Mu Qiqi could only watch helplessly at third brother. All right. I'll be in charge of little sister-in-law's safety later, but don't go too far. Meanwhile, the Sheng family's mansion was a scene of luxury. To celebrate his birthday well, old Sheng had second brother build a banquet hall that resembled a forest on the Sheng family's golf course. And when the guests arrived, they were all resting in the palace. Everyone from the Sheng family was dressed to the nines, with the Sheng brothers each more elegant than the last. The outside world had received word that Sheng Xiao had returned from the Shen family. It appeared that the crown prince had come to his senses and left the embrace of a beauty to regain his authority in Huangyao. As expected, men have always loved power. I see that the young masters of the Sheng family are here, but the crown prince is nowhere to be seen. I wonder if the rumors are true. It's true. Third brother came to the Shen family to fetch the crown prince last night, and the news that the Shen family could not keep the crown prince is spreading like wildfire. If that's really the case, and the crown prince has broken up with the young lady of the Shen family, who would want to be with the young lady of the Shen family after what happened between them? Well, the crown prince already has a ready-made Miss Gu. Isn't he? He was madly in love with her yesterday, and now he's someone else's fiancé. If I were a Shun, I would never forgive the Sheng family. Right now, the hottest topic among the guests was the matter between Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi. It had been an entire morning, but Sheng Xiao was nowhere to be seen. What game was the crown prince playing? A moment later, Gu Xiling, who was dressed to the nines, walked into the crowd. She was wearing a long red dress, like a red rose blooming in a green fairyland. So flirtatious, so dazzling. This was probably the legendary fairy-like beauty with fair skin like a fairy. Old Sheng was wearing a white suit and a red bow tie, and it appeared that he was deliberately accommodating Gu Xiling's outfit. In fact, it was to tell the guests how much he valued Gu Xiling. As the old man weaved among the guests, chatting casually with them, it was then that Sheng Xiao appeared before them in a black suit. Old Sheng frowned when he saw that his grandson was still wearing yesterday's clothes. Although it did not hurt Sheng Xiao's impressive figure and aura, he had the feeling that Sheng Xiao was not such a low-key person before. Could it be that he had learned this much during his time at the Shin family? Look, the crown prince is coming out. So he really broke up with Mu Qiqi and returned to the Sheng family. What a shame. I thought he was different from other men, but he's actually a real scumbag. Pretending not to hear those comments, Old Sheng walked up to Sheng Xiao and told him, introduced Xiling to the guests. I don't have time. Sheng Xiao stood among the crowd, but he was not looking for Gu Xiling. Instead, he was looking for Mu Qiqi. It was a grievance to have a little thing pretend to be a servant. Where's Xiling? What are you looking for? Sheng Xiao ignored Grandpa Sheng's words and headed straight in another direction. Grandpa Sheng's expression was a little ugly. He thought to himself that he should announce this matter as soon as possible. Chapter 397. Seizing that moment, Sheng Xiao saw Su Che at the back of the crowd. Third brother had brought him in. Chief Sheng, everything is ready. Su Che whispered into Sheng Xiao's ear when he saw him. Take care of Qi-er's safety, Sheng Xiao told Su Che. Understood. Su Che quickly found Mu Qiqi's position when he received the message, and went to protect his wife. Meanwhile, Mu Qiqi had found the best spot to watch. She wanted to know how Sheng Xiao would sever all ties with the Sheng family today. Still, deep in her heart, she did not want Sheng Xiao to have no family at all. Still, when she thought about it, it would be better if he did not have any family. When the old man saw that almost all the guests had arrived, and everyone was laughing and joking, he took Gu Xiling's hand and walked to the most eye-catching spot, ready to announce the engagement between Gu Xiling and Sheng Xiao. Everyone, I am very honored to be able to meet all of you today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend my birthday banquet, and I hope that everything goes well for you. The guests' gazes were promptly drawn to Old Sheng. On this beautiful day, this old man is not only going to spend a beautiful day with everyone. More importantly, I believe everyone has seen that my grandson Sheng Xiao has returned to the Sheng family. I am very pleased that he has repented from the wrong path. That is how family is, blood is thicker than water, and we should never give up. That is why I would like to announce two things on such an occasion today. The first is that my grandson Sheng Xiao would continue to lead Huang Yao to a more glorious path. As for the second, Old Sheng turned to Gu Xiling beside him. I intend to have Xiling in. But before Grandpa Sheng could finish his words, a group of people in suits entered the Sheng family's home with work tags hanging on their necks. Old Sheng looked at the butler in confusion, who explained, Master, they say that they are in charge of a charity organization. Charity organization? What are they here for? Well, we have received a donation from Mr. Sheng Xiao, which is why we are here to sign a contract. The other party answered. I'm sorry. I really didn't know it was your birthday banquet. Sorry for disturbing you. Eighth brother. Sheng Xiao stepped out from the crowd of guests and went up to the staff. He reached out to take the donation agreement and wrote his name on it without checking it carefully. At the same time, he looked up at the old man with a meaningful smile. I thank Mr. Sheng Xiao for your gift and support on behalf of those patients with serious illnesses. You're welcome. My assistant will deal with the follow-up procedures later. You can leave now. All right, sorry to bother you. Soon the man left. Meanwhile, Grandpa Sheng looked at Sheng Xiao in confusion. Why do you want to do charity today? To accumulate good karma for you. Sheng Xiao smiled. Moreover, this is only 10% of Huang Yao's shares. It shouldn't be much, right? The old man was stunned. What did you say? Second brother and sixth brother, noticing that the atmosphere wasn't right, quickly went up to the old man and held him up. Eighth brother, are you kidding me? I still have some left. I wonder if there's anyone here who's interested. Sheng Xiao put his hands in his trouser pockets, looking very much like a playboy. Eighth brother. Grandpa Sheng pointed at Sheng Xiao, his fingers shaking. Are you satisfied with pissing me off? Since you've returned my shares, what's wrong with me selling them? Sheng Xiao asked in return. Or are you saying that you didn't really intend to give them to me in the first place? Everyone was suddenly puzzled at the scene before them. What was Sheng Xiao trying to do? After all, he had just donated 10% of Huang Yao's shares. What did that mean? Did he not intend to return to the Sheng family at all? You gave me shares, and I donated mine. Is that wrong? Are you trying to take revenge on the Sheng family, eighth brother? Grandpa has been so good to you, arranging everything for you. Do you understand now? Sheng Xiao asked second brother in return. Just because all of you enjoy his kindness, doesn't mean I'm a masochist who likes a life arranged for me. By the way, wasn't the old man about to announce something important just now? You can say it now. Grandpa Sheng was shaking all over. Would he dare to hand Gu Xiling over to Sheng Xiao now? Eighth brother, don't you know that you're completely disappointing me like this? I never knew that you had a heart. Sheng Xiao replied almost coldly. Well, since it's your birthday today, we should make our guests happy. Why don't we play a game together? Any guest who can challenge me would get 1% of Huang Yao's shares. Sheng Xiao, Grandpa Sheng yelled angrily. Would you rather be the Shen family's watchdog than the Sheng family? It seems that you really want to lose everything. Don't forget that your surname is Sheng, and that the Sheng family has given you all wealth and status. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning for treating your grandfather like this today? No wonder you said you weren't in a hurry when you were asked to take over second brother's files. But you never intended to return to Huang Yao in the first place. Did you? Is the Shen family so good that you would stick to them like a dog? Don't you know that I was about to get you engaged to Miss Gu, and leave the best for you? But what about you? Are you even human? Weren't you the one who asked me to return to the Sheng family? Since you want me to return, you should deal with things my way. What's wrong with me giving you my shares? I wouldn't refuse if you want me to return to Huang Yao. But I never said that I would lead Huang Yao in a good direction. You think that the Sheng family created me and gave me power and wealth. I'm standing here today, and you can take my life anytime you want. Isn't that what you want? That's the fun you get when you control me. Grandpa Sheng's face was flushed with rage, and his breathing was ragged. The guests present were really afraid that the old man would collapse if he took things too hard. It's all because of Mu Chichi. Chapter 398. The old man felt a pang in his chest at those words. It seems that our family's fate has come to an end today. You don't want Huang Yao, the Sheng family, or your family. I can grant you all that. But don't you ever come begging me on your knees again. I would never let you return to the Sheng family. You want to sever all ties with the Sheng family, don't you? You would rather be the Shen family's powerless, poor son-in-law who idles about? I'll grant you your wish. Everyone here has seen that it was Sheng Xiao who gave up everything he had today, disdaining to be a scion of the Sheng family. I won't force him. From this day forth, Sheng Zhao's name is officially removed from the Sheng family. He would no longer have a place in Huang Yao, and my inheritance would have nothing to do with him. The Sheng family should just assume that he is dead, and that would be neat and tidy. As for the person in charge of Huang Yao, I will now officially hand it over to my second grandson, Sheng Kai, and have him get engaged to Miss Gu as soon as possible. Even if you don't care for it, someone else would. I hope that every guest here could bear witness that Sheng Xiao has betrayed the Sheng family today, and would be cursed and blacklisted by the Sheng family for all eternity. From now on, if Sheng Xiao seeks employment from any of you, I implore all of you to remember his face today, and to see if such a person is worth hiring with a high salary. Sheng Zhao's dark eyes held infinite meaning. Was the old man calling for all the nobles of Jianchuan to encircle him? Still, it did not matter. Since things had come to this, he had long since expected such an outcome. The other Sheng family members looked at Sheng Xiao in pity, believing that he had been blinded by greed, and was willing to give up all of Huang Yao for Mu Qiqi. They were even more pitiful, because the old man's words meant that Sheng Zhao's position as crown prince would no longer exist. The scions of the aristocratic families he had offended, and the young masters of the rich families he had humiliated would all turn against him for vengeance. Even so, did that not matter? Third brother was the only one who stared impassively at Sheng Xiao. Of course, there was still some mockery hidden in his heart. These people were probably thinking of finding a chance in the future to step on eighth brother's feet. Since you have nothing to do with the Sheng family, please get out of my house. I don't want to see your face for the rest of my life. As for your room, I'll keep my dog there. All the guests present were shocked. Sheng Xiao had been invincible in Jianchuan for so many years, and had never been afraid of anyone. But now, there would come a day when he would be humiliated. In the future, when I see him, I finally won't have to take a detour. No, it would be more accurate to say, an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye. Then I can only wish the Sheng family good luck. With that, Sheng Xiao turned to look at Mu Qiqi and Su Che in the crowd, gesturing for them to retreat. That was when Gu Xiling suddenly told old Sheng, "Grandpa Sheng, I think I need to think about my engagement with second young master." The guests were shocked when they heard that. It was obvious that Miss Gu did not like second young master. Second brother's face darkened at that. Of course, you must have been shocked that I didn't tell you in advance. It's fine. You can tell me in person when you two have feelings for each other. That would be better. Old Sheng immediately smoothed things over. But this has nothing to do with Sheng Xiao. But, Xiling, you must understand that he has come this far for Mu Qiqi. He would never turn back for you. Miss Gu, I have nothing now. Even so, I would never choose to be with you. Don't have any expectations for me, or you would end up like your predecessor. Gu Xiling had seen how Sheng Xiao behaved in front of the guests today. His courage to defy his elders moved her. Although she knew that Sheng Xiao did not like her, he gave her an unusual sense of security. Get lost. Sheng Xiao, get lost. The once glorious crown prince has finally become a pauper. Let us congratulate second young master. The guests all raised their glasses to celebrate Sheng Kai as the new crown prince of Huang Yao. As for Miss Gu, she would probably become Sheng Kai's bride in the near future. Would she? Sheng Xiao stepped out of the crowd amidst sighs, while Su Che went to greet him. Chief Sheng, should we? No need. Sheng Xiao stopped Su Che. He knew that Su Che was loyal to his master, and did not want him to be humiliated. Even so, Sheng Xiao believed that this was just the beginning, and the real show was yet to come. These people are hot-headed. They might come after you. No one could hurt me even if I'm not in charge of Zhongting now. Of course, it's even better with Zhongting. Come, let's go home with Xiaoqier. The old man still had other tricks up his sleeve, but that had nothing to do with him. Either way, every major news outlet was talking about it. He had left Sheng Xiao in such a high-profile manner, so that the old man would have no way back. Soon, third brother led Mu Qiqi out of the Sheng residence. Mu Qiqi threw herself into Sheng Xiao's arms when she saw him. Why would you put up with all this for me? Sheng Xiao smiled and pinched Mu Qiqi's chin. Don't flatter yourself. I'm doing it for myself. As you wish. From now on, you're a pauper that everyone in Jianchuan hates. Third brother rolled his eyes. Do you have to ruin your reputation like that? If I'm going to put an end to it, of course I have to be thorough. Are we still brothers? Eighth brother. If you're willing to come to me, I don't mind a glass of red wine. With that, Sheng Xiao turned and led Mu Qiqi into a black car. Meanwhile, third brother couldn't help sighing as he watched them leave. Eighth brother was finally free, even if it came at a steep price. At the banquet, the guests appeared unusually excited. They finally had the chance to get back at him for all the bullying they had suffered over the years. But what they did not know was that they were about to see an even harsher and less merciful 8th Master Sheng, the military entrepreneur, who would make you regret it for the rest of your life the moment you offended him. Second brother, from now on, you and third brother would shoulder the heavy responsibility of building Huangyao. I won't compare you to 8th brother, because he's dead in my heart. Chapter 399. Grandfather, have you really let go of 8th brother? I only have hatred for him. With those words, the old man gestured at Gu Xiling with his chin and told Sheng Kai, Miss Gu clearly can't accept you, but you are the only one in the Sheng family who is worthy of her. Moreover, I've already said it, so the Gu family and I will soon arrange your marriage. I understand, grandfather. And what old Sheng was going to do next was to make sure that Sheng Xiao would have no place in Jianchuan. He did not want his stain to live in this world, or rather hang around in front of him. Sheng Kai's gaze followed Gu Xiling. He was determined to have this woman, not just because she was beautiful, but also because she made him want to conquer her. But he did not know that the scales in Gu Xiling's heart were already tilting towards Sheng Xiao. She might have been born to like men without power or influence. Sheng Xiao's departure from the Sheng family had spread like wildfire, and the entire city knew about it. Oddly, however, there was no news about Sheng Xiao or the Shen family. Old Shen did not say whether the Shen family would accept him as a live-in son-in-law, and Sheng Xiao did not seem to have returned to the Shen family either. Since he liked the Shen family's style, he had bought another villa not far from the Shen's house in the same style as the Shen's. That way, Mu Qiqi would not feel unfamiliar even if she moved in right away. Since you like the Shen's house, can't you just stay there? Sheng Xiao's gaze followed her face as he explained seductively. I can't do whatever I want to you whenever and wherever I want if I stay here. What about Jingting? We don't need anything that has anything to do with the Sheng family. I'll arrange for someone to move our things out tomorrow. We already have several homes. Sheng Xiao pulled Mu Qiqi and hugged her, telling her, this is the only place we'll have from now on. Mu Qiqi nodded. In truth, she did not really mind where they were staying, but this place was very close to the Shen family, and she liked the good feng shui. That was why she gladly accepted Sheng Xiao's arrangement. Wherever you are, I am. Who asked you to be my man? Sheng Xiao enjoyed it very much, and brought Mu Qiqi to the dining room. He had Su Che decorate the place, because he wanted to celebrate his new life with his little one. It was rare for Mu Qiqi to wear a white lace dress. Her figure was voluptuous and full of temptation. He really could not tell that the little one had grown up to be able to seduce men. The two had a candlelit dinner. Sheng Xiao even extended his hand and invited the little one to dance with him. Their bodies were soon pressed against each other, and Mu Qiqi was intoxicated by the pleasant atmosphere. I'm always worried when you abandon everything and come out of the Sheng family. What are you afraid of? Sheng Xiao asked. I'm afraid that you'll feel that I've treated you badly and regret it. Then, you'll have to love me even more, Halfway through the dance, Sheng Xiao suddenly picked Mu Qiqi up and put her on the dining table before pinning her down. Mu Qiqi simply hooked her arms around his neck, and the two of them began a wild night at the dining table. The lively day was finally over, and the Sheng family could finally sit down and enjoy a moment of peace. Once the old man calmed down, he began to think about Sheng Xiao. Is Jingting one of the Sheng family's properties? The old man asked. Sheng Kai thought about it and answered Grandpa Sheng. It's eldest aunt who bought it. I think I'll have to ask her. What right does she have to be your eldest aunt after giving birth to a traitor? I'll divorce your uncle as soon as possible. Everyone was stunned at the old man's words. Grandfather, this has nothing to do with eldest aunt, right? Third brother was caught between laughter and tears. She gave birth to our son, and it's her fault for not teaching him well. It's perfectly justifiable for me to kick her out. Second brother and third brother shared a look, feeling that the old man's attitude was a little extreme. Second brother, go and find out who owns Jingting, and if it was bought with the Sheng family's money. If it is, I'll take it back myself. Was the old man trying to kill them all? Grandfather, you've seen how much eldest aunt has contributed to the Sheng family over the years. Moreover, it's never a good thing to break up a family for no reason. I have the final say in this family. The old man was very stubborn. Do as I say. By the way, keep a dog in Sheng Zhao's room. A loyal dog. In that very moment, no one could argue with the old man. He probably hated Sheng Xiao too much. Hence, Sheng Kai could only obey and call Mama Sheng, who was overseas. Still, he could not bear the thought of the old man chasing eldest aunt away. Even so, Sheng Xiao had made a huge mess, and no one could clean up the mess now. What is it, Sheng Kai? Eldest aunt, well, I want to know if the property in Jingting is under your name. Or eighth brothers. What? Mama Sheng asked sarcastically. My son has left the Sheng family, and now my assets are being liquidated? Eldest aunt grandfather might really be hurt. When has he not hurt our hearts? Mama Sheng answered second brother after she was done mocking him. I'm paying for this gift for my son and daughter-in-law. It has nothing to do with the Sheng family. It's from my dowry. Second brother told the old man truthfully, but the old man had the same look on his face after he heard it. Her assets? How could she buy Jingting with what she brought from her maiden home? And even if she bought it with her own money, does her money not come from the Sheng family? The son is really as shameless as the mother. I'll bring some men with me tomorrow to take back Jingting. I wouldn't let those traitors have it even if I have to give it to beggars. Second brother said nothing. Perhaps it was a good thing to let his grandfather vent a little. That was why he did not try to dissuade the old man. Even if the old man did not take it back, Sheng Xiao had no intention of staying at Jingting. If he wanted to cut ties with the Sheng family cleanly, there must not be anything related to the Sheng family. Even so, he could not let old Sheng take Jingting away for nothing. It was his mother's. Did the old man want it? Not a chance. Next morning, Mama Sheng called Sheng Xiao and asked him personally, Are you still staying at Jingting? What is it? I heard that the old man is going to visit personally today to take back Jingting. I've already had my lawyer handle it, and you should keep it in mind. Mom, I'm sorry for troubling you. Chapter 400. He even wants me to divorce your father. Mama Sheng laughed. But you don't have to worry about it. I'll take care of Mom and Dad. Mom, just bear with it for a while. You'll have more glory than the Sheng family in the future. Of course I know that. I never doubted my son's ability. Mu Qiqi was sitting on the bed, feeling helpless and guilty when she heard their conversation. Just because you left the Sheng family, I'm being chased out of the Sheng family? The old man really knows how to vent his anger on others. Still, I'm not surprised. It's something the old man would do. What do you plan to do in Jingting today? Su Che will handle it. Sheng Xiao turned to Mu Qiqi. It's obvious that the old man wants to take revenge on you. Li Tianlan said. Revenge? Ha! It was Sheng Zhao's disdainful voice toward the old man. Since the old man wanted to put on an act, he would keep him company. That morning, Su Che was ordered by Sheng Xiao to move to Jingting. Still, the men he brought were all skilled, just in case there was a chance of a fight. Later, the old man arrived at Jingting with his men, assuming that Sheng Xiao was still staying there when he saw that there was someone in the house. The sarcasm in his heart deepened. Master, I'll tell the people in the house to leave. The butler did not want a direct confrontation between the old man and Sheng Xiao, and so took the task on his own. Leaning on his walking stick, the old man stood ramrod straight in Jingting's garden. Tell the people in the house to leave with dignity if they're leaving. Don't claim to leave the Sheng family while hogging their belongings. All right. The old butler entered Jingting's house, but found that there were only a few workers packing Sheng Xiao and Mu Qiqi's belongings. The old butler breathed a sigh of relief and asked, Who's in charge? Su Che put down the things in his hand and approached him. I am old man. What's the matter? I'm the butler of the Sheng family. We're here to take back Jingting. Su Che looked at the old butler for a moment, then said, I'm sorry, old man. We are only responsible for taking care of the former owner's things. As for who can take them back, that is not up to us. Therefore, We will return the keys and other items to the owner of the property. After hearing that, the old butler returned to Grandpa Sheng's side and told him, Master Eighth, Sheng Xiao is not inside. There are only some workers packing his things. Take your men inside and keep an eye on them. Don't let anyone take anything that belongs to the Sheng family. Sheng Xiao has nothing now. Who knows, he might steal it. The old butler was astonished when he heard those words. He had never expected the old man to say something like that. Such humiliating words. Go ahead. Whatever they packed, open it and check. This doesn't seem to be a good idea. I'm telling you to go, so go. These workers did not do anything wrong. Why should he vent his anger on them? Moreover, what good would it do for the old master to humiliate these people? Be that as it may, the old butler led his men into the living room and told Su Che and the others, Sorry to trouble you, but we would like to open the bags for inspection. In truth, Su Che knew very well why Grandpa Sheng was here, and so smiled. What? Afraid that we'll take Jing Ting's things? We're just taking precautions. I hope you understand. It's fine if you want to inspect it, but please show us the proof of ownership. I heard that this house doesn't belong to the Sheng family. If that's the case, you have no right to question our actions if you can't show us the proof. Su Che answered the old butler firmly. Young man, we're all just trying to make a living. Why do you have to make things difficult for an old man like me? But you're making things difficult for me when I'm not making things difficult for you. Su Che replied. Show me the proof, and I'll open the boxes right away. Otherwise, please don't interfere with our work. Helpless, the old butler was about to leave when Grandpa Sheng walked in and told Su Che. Do lowly people like you have the right to speak to my butler? This is already a favor for you. And yet you don't know what's good for you. Men, open the boxes right now. Grandpa Sheng's men were about to make a move, but Su Che caught them by the arm and dislocated them with a light touch. I don't know who you are or what's so great about you, but I'll make anyone who interferes with my work suffer a fate worse than death. Su Che's skills were clearly professional at first glance. Naturally, Grandpa Sheng's men were wary. Old master, why don't we just let it go? Let it go? This is the Sheng family. It's not up to others. Su Che said nothing else and promptly called the police. Soon, Mama Sheng's lawyer and the police entered Jing Ting together. Oh, it's old Sheng. I've heard a lot about you. Grandpa Sheng would never spare the young policeman a glance, and promptly told them. These people want to take something from the Sheng family. That's why I've asked them to open the boxes for inspection, but they refused. You police see what to do. The policeman and the lawyer looked at each other, just as the lawyer and Su Che looked at each other. Then, the lawyer took out his credentials and told the old man. I've been asked by my client Fang Qin to handle the matter at Jing Ting. I'm sorry, old Sheng, but I have the proof of ownership, investment, and every source of funds to buy this house. This definitely has nothing to do with the Sheng family, which is why there is no reason for you to come here today. The old man sneered at that. How could Fang Qin get so much money from her maiden family? Doesn't that money belong to the Sheng family too? The law only recognizes words in black and white. The lawyer emphasized. You may be my client's father-in-law, but I still have to tell you that this house has nothing to do with you. If you insist on pestering me, then I won't be polite either. Humph. Why would you dare to offend me if you know who I am? Since Grandpa Sheng couldn't take it by force, he began to act shamelessly, pressuring the lawyer with his status. I don't care who you are. Even the president is equal before the law, the lawyer replied stubbornly. By the way, Mr. Su, my client has said that you can take whatever you like from the house. That's not necessary. My client has also said that even if this house has nothing to do with the Sheng family, he would be disgusted if the Sheng family set their eyes on it. That's why he doesn't need a single needle or thread inside. Chapter 401. The old man was furious, but there was nothing he could do. Now he finally understood why Xing Xiao had so many rebellious thoughts. It was all because of his mother. That woman must be chased out of the Sheng family as soon as possible. Old Master Sheng had personally made a trip to Jingting, but returned empty-handed. He was being unreasonable in the first place, because he stubbornly believed that the money Mama Sheng spent after marrying into the Sheng family was rightfully the Sheng family's money. And since it was the Sheng family's money, he certainly would not let those ingrates benefit from it. Everyone in the Sheng family could sense that the old man's temperament had changed after being provoked yesterday. It was as if he would take a bite out of Sheng Xiao wherever he went. Afraid that the old man's body could not take it, second brother told the old man. Grandfather, eighth brother has nothing now. I've spoken to our business partners, and they would not be polite or merciful if they see Sheng Xiao. Why bother with him yourself? I don't want to let the ingrate's matter rest just like that. He must pay the price for betraying the Sheng family. Grandfather, you don't have to say anything else. Just do your job. The Gu family would come for dinner tonight to discuss your marriage with Xiling. However, judging from Gu Xiling's expression, it was obvious that she was unwilling. Grandfather, Miss Gu doesn't seem that willing. I've already said what I've said. It's not up to her whether she wants to or not. The old man became even more forceful. I've already spoken to the Gu family. She would definitely marry into the Sheng family, and you are the best candidate. Second brother said nothing, but he knew very well that Gu Xiling had no feelings for him. Make things difficult for Sheng Xiao when you see him in the future. Sheng Kai nodded to appease the old man. Don't worry, grandfather. I won't let eighth brother off. Satisfied, the old man returned to his study and called his son. Eldest brother, I'm giving you two clear choices. 1. Get out of the Sheng family, and out of my sight like that unfilial son of yours. 2. Divorce Fang Qin. Papa Sheng was completely unaware that things would turn out this way, and so asked the old man awkwardly, Father, what does this have to do with Xiao Qin? She is my wife. How could you instigate a divorce between us? Then do you want to choose the first option? Dad, I'll give you 3 days. Give me a reply once you've thought it through. Old Sheng gave his final ultimatum, as if he was not giving Papa Sheng any chance of survival. Mama Sheng heard their conversation and smiled. You don't have to feel troubled. I'll pack my things and go back to Jianchuan in 2 days. Unable to bear it, Papa Sheng grabbed Mama Sheng's arm. Xiao Qin, what would you do if we really split up? I still have a son and a daughter-in-law. It won't be very tragic, but I know that you won't give up your career in the Sheng family. If that's the case, you should make a decision as soon as possible, so that everyone won't suffer. Mama Sheng shook off Papa Sheng's hand, and turned to return to her room. There was nothing she could do if old Master Sheng wanted to kill her. Of course, Mama Sheng never intended to let Sheng Xiao know about it. That was why she had planned to divorce her husband behind Sheng Xiao's back. But old Sheng would not let the family have peace. He spread the news of the couple's divorce, letting everyone know that it was because of Sheng Xiao that the couple had fallen out of control. Hence, Sheng Xiao was filled with regret. Would Sheng Xiao have such a huge reaction? On the other hand, Mu Qiqi felt very guilty. Would Dad and Mom really divorce because of us? Sheng Xiao called Mama Sheng to ask about Papa Sheng's attitude. Mom, if Dad is reluctant to leave you, and is willing to leave the Sheng family, I would help him regain his pride as a father. But if he chooses the Sheng family and not you, there is no need to keep some people. Give us 2 more days, eighth brother. If Dad chooses you, I'll have Su Che send a helicopter to pick you up. Wait for my reply. Over the years, Papa Sheng's attitude had changed under the old man's constant pressure. Even so, he was abroad with his wife, and his life seemed to have returned to when they were newlyweds. He could not bear to part with Mama Sheng. However, the old man was insistent on forcing him, and he could not make a decision at once. Mama Sheng was waiting for his final answer. In truth, he knew very well that Sheng Xiao had betrayed the Sheng family. He would not be treated well by the old man, even if he returned to Jianchuan. Still, he would have a hard time giving up his luxurious life, even if it was someone else. Soon 3 days passed, and old Sheng's call came as promised. Have you thought it through? Dad, why must you force me? You can only blame yourself for giving birth to a good son. Old Sheng said. If you don't divorce that woman, I would feel terrible just looking at her. Even if she had taken care of you for years in the Sheng family, wouldn't you remember old ties? Old ties. Your son didn't say anything about old ties when he abandoned the Sheng family. That's all you're good for. You can't even make up your mind after 3 days. If that's the case, I'll take it that you've chosen the Sheng family. When you come back, bring me the divorce agreement between you and that woman. Papa Sheng felt terrible, especially when he saw Mama Sheng carrying her suitcase and getting into the car when he answered the call. He panicked at once. That was why he quickly hung up on old Sheng and chased after her without thinking. Mama Sheng ran all the way to the airport, with Papa Sheng chasing after her. There were some things that people only realized how important they were in critical moments. Therefore, when Mama Sheng got out of the car, Papa Sheng caught up to her and grabbed her arm. Xiaoqin. Mama Sheng turned to look at Papa Sheng and paused. You don't have to send me off. I'm not here to send you off. I won't sign the divorce papers either. Papa Sheng answered seriously. I've been a coward in the Sheng family for so many years, and I've always treated Dad's words like an imperial edict. I know that Sheng Zhao's matter has angered him, but I really didn't expect that he would ask me to leave my wife. Mama Sheng's eyes reddened at that. But you'll lose everything if you choose me. It's fine. I'm never valued in the Sheng family anyway. Papa Sheng hugged his wife. I'm sorry, Xiaoqin. I've let you and Sheng Xiao bear a lot of responsibility and torture, because I wasn't valued all these years. I know that you've left the country, because you can't let go of me. Otherwise, you would have left with Sheng Xiao. Chapter 402. Why would Papa Sheng become like that? It was because Mama Sheng knew that the young man had been full of vigor when she first met him. But he had to act mature and capable, because he was the eldest son of the Sheng family. Even so, he was not suited for that role. He had been trying to gain affirmation from the old man over the years, but he had never been pleased. That was why he felt less and less secure. Mama Sheng had seen it all with her own eyes. Is it okay to have nothing if you don't divorce me? It doesn't matter. We can be an ordinary couple as long as I'm with you. We're already so old, and I really don't want to fight anymore. Mama Sheng burst into tears at those words and thumped Papa Sheng's chest. Why did you only come around now? I almost left. I'm sorry, Xiaoqin. I'll make it clear to Dad when we get home that I won't sign the divorce papers. Mama Sheng nodded and allowed Papa Sheng to wipe her tears. We'll be together from now on. Yes, and that troublemaker Sheng Xiao too. But I have to get my passport first. Mama Sheng smiled, but called Sheng Xiao right in front of Papa Sheng. Send someone to get me. And your father. Papa Sheng did not know what trick Mama Sheng was playing. He only reacted when the helicopter stopped in front of them. Did Sheng Xiao send this? Yes. Otherwise, do you really think that your son would go begging on the streets after leaving the Sheng family? Mama Sheng smiled. Old Sheng, listen to your son when you get back to Jianchuan. He told me that he would help you regain your pride as a father if you choose me. There was a flash of surprise in Papa Sheng's eyes. Sheng Xiao should be in a bad situation in Jianchuan right now. Perhaps Sheng Xiao was trying to give him the only shred of dignity he had as a father. Still, he really did not care. He could endure an ordinary life since he had chosen this mother and son. Be that as it may, he was left stunned when he arrived at Jianchuan and found Sheng Xiao leading a group of his subordinates. Son! Mama Sheng promptly lunged at him. Papa Sheng did a double take and only reacted after a long time. Eighth brother, what's going on? Get in the car. You'll understand in a while. Sheng Xiao had Su Che arrange for his parents to get in the car and brought them to Zhongting. When the employee at the door saw Sheng Xiao, he greeted him respectfully, Chief Sheng. Papa Sheng followed, and soon arrived at Sheng Zhao's office on the 54th floor. Seeing that the office was even more spacious than Huang Yao's, he finally understood. When did you start your own business? It's been a while. I founded Zhongting with my father-in-law, a military enterprise. Papa Sheng stood in front of the French window and looked out at all of Jianchuan, his heart boiling. So, this is a company that truly belongs to our family. Dad, you chose Mom, which means that you have family and love in your heart. As your son, of course, I hope that the two of you can be safe and happy. So if you're willing, the doors of Zhongting are open for you. Papa Sheng felt his eyes brimming with tears at that. Here, he did not have to endure Grandpa Sheng's disdain, nor did he have to think about who he was working so hard for. Good. You really are my son. You're really promising. I know that you studied industrial design overseas, Dad. That's why I need a senior engineer. Papa Sheng laughed and cried at that. You knew that I'm not cut out for management, didn't you? Then he nodded. I just don't know if my old bones could do it. Of course. Sheng Xiao smiled. It was the first time father and son had such a calm conversation. Of course, Papa Sheng could feel that Sheng Xiao had clearly matured. His brashness was gone, and he could be mature and steady now. This is my own business, and I would definitely do my best. Don't worry, your father would definitely become the best industrial designer in Jianchuan for you to see. Still, Dad, Huang Yao is suppressing us right now. That's why we shouldn't expose our identities. When the time is right, the Sheng family would know everything. Let the old man think that I'm poor now. That way, he wouldn't pay attention to us. Papa Sheng looked at Mama Sheng and nodded. I promised your mother that I would listen to everything you say. But after we leave the Sheng family, your mother and we're staying at Jingting. Mama Sheng said. It's my property. No one has the right to say anything. Then let's have a good lunch. I'll bring you to the Sheng family at night to make things clear with the old man. Where's Xiaoqi? Mama Sheng couldn't help asking, missing her fiancé dearly. She's at the forensics lab. She'll meet you tonight. Sheng Xiao replied. Meanwhile, Papa Sheng was touring around Zhongting, because he really couldn't believe that he could find his true place in his old age. There's going to be a good show at the Sheng family in the afternoon. Mama Sheng rarely saw her husband like that. Her eyes were twinkling just like when he was young, but she was still worried that her husband would be hurt when they returned home. Of course, the old man is a brave warrior. Your father used to hate him too, but it's because I've seen him like this that I'm never willing to give up on him. Sheng Xiao put his arm over his mother's shoulder as a silent consolation. You're the only one who can protect me tonight. Do you even need to ask? Old Sheng was very certain that his eldest son would definitely choose the Sheng family. But why? Because he had been a wimp all his life. He couldn't give up on his wealth and glory in his middle age. To him, women were not worthy of respect. He could just find another wife if he lost his wife. What's more, a disobedient one. That was why old Sheng never imagined that his eldest son would say no to him one day. After waiting for a day and a night, the old man finally got to see his eldest son. But why was Mama Sheng still with him? The old man looked rather displeased. Didn't I only ask you to bring the divorce papers? You don't have to divorce this woman in front of me. Papa Sheng turned and glanced at Mama Sheng before telling the old man. Father, I'm not getting a divorce. Chapter 403. What did Xiaoqin do wrong? Papa Sheng asked the old man in distress. You know very well what she did wrong. She gave birth to a bastard like Sheng Xiao and turned the Sheng family upside down. Do you think the Sheng family would tolerate her? Ever since Sheng Zhao's provocation at the birthday party, old Sheng had become even sharper and more unreasonable towards his own family. And because Mama Sheng had given birth to Sheng Xiao, the old man took his anger out on her. Seeing that Papa Sheng was not moving, the old man rose from his chair and looked at his son. I know you're used to being indecisive and don't know how to make a decision. How about this? I'll let you stay in the Sheng family if you chase this woman out with your own hands. With Papa Sheng's temper in the past, he would have dug out his heart to show the old man how much he had contributed to the Sheng family. You still can't do it? No. Papa Sheng suddenly looked up at the old man. I'm just thinking what kind of father would divorce his daughter-in-law. I'm thinking what kind of father would humiliate his daughter-in-law like that and treat everyone as if they were not human. I'm thinking, what kind of father would force his own child to this extent? Are you even human? Papa Sheng suddenly asked old Sheng loudly. I've had enough of you over the years. How much longer do you think you can do whatever you want? Do you really think you're an emperor? The old man suddenly laughed at Papa Sheng's words. What? Are you going to learn from your son and betray the Sheng family? Isn't it normal for a father like you to be betrayed? Papa Sheng encouraged himself inwardly and became strong. Do you still want my inheritance? Do you still want your place in the Sheng family? If you still want to, then kneel down and apologize. At that, Mama Sheng was about to step forward and argue with Grandpa Sheng when Papa Sheng stopped her. I'm sorry, but I really don't want it. What did you say? I said I don't want anything in the Sheng family. But I'm never divorcing Xiao Qin. Papa Sheng said firmly. I hope that when you play with people's hearts, you will think about whether you will have a good end. Xiao Qin, let's go. With that, they were about to leave the house. But Grandpa Sheng was puzzled. Boss, did you take the wrong medicine? I can understand that. But you? After being a coward for so many years, who are you trying to show your strength to? It's not that I'm strong. It's that you'll lose more and more family members. Just wait and see. Eldest brother, you have to know that once you walk out of this door, you will be just like your unfilial son. You will never get anything from the Sheng family. In the past, I saw Huang Yao as more important than my life. I thought that as long as I worked hard, you would be able to see my existence. But now, I don't care about any of that. That's why the Sheng family and Huang Yao are nothing to me. You can just guard your Huang Yao and die alone. This time, Papa Sheng did not turn around. He wasn't as weak as before. Instead, he directly shed all pretense of cordiality with the old master. He wasn't afraid of anything. This time, Mama Sheng didn't even have time to speak. Grandpa Sheng watched them leave with a complicated look in his eyes. Even eldest brother, who had always been the most obedient, was bewitched by others and left his side. Get lost. I'll make you all regret betraying me sooner or later. Soon, the other members of the Sheng family learned about Papa Sheng bringing Mama Sheng home and causing a ruckus at the Sheng residence. Third brother and his brothers felt a lot at that. Grandpa's personality changed drastically that day. He seems to be harder to get along with than before, and his control over his family has increased too. Maybe he's afraid. Second brother answered, looking at his younger brother. Did you know? I really think that eighth brother has gone too far this time. How could he embarrass the Sheng family in front of so many guests? Third brother couldn't help frowning at that. Second brother, I thought you understood eighth brother. He has a responsibility as a descendant of the Sheng family. He does have a responsibility. But don't you think it's too heavy to put the burden of Huang Yao on his shoulders alone? Third brother asked Sheng Kai, pointing at his own shoulder. Yes, he did choose a deadly method. But you should know what kind of person our grandfather is. He forced eldest uncle and eldest aunt to divorce today. Eighth brother wouldn't have taken that path if he had a way out. I don't think he did anything wrong this time. The two brothers had diverged over the matter. It was no wonder that Sheng Xiao told him about Zhongting and not second brother. Sheng Xiao believed in Sheng Kai's ability, but he still held back. Let's not talk about that. What do you think about Grandpa letting you marry Miss Gu soon? She doesn't want to. Third brother laughed at those words. She would be your undisputed wife whether she wants to or not. Why else do you think eighth brother is fighting against the old man? You should persuade her too. It's a foregone conclusion. The two brothers returned to their respective rooms after discussing the day's troubles. However, second brother found Gu Xiling drinking again in the Sheng family's garden. Second brother's words suddenly flashed in his mind, and Sheng Kai walked up to Gu Xiling. Still not sleeping? He asked. I'm thinking about how to break free from this marriage. Do you really not want to marry me that much? Second brother asked Gu Xiling. Gu Xiling suddenly looked up at second brother with a glass of red wine in hand. Yes, if I had a choice, I would rather be Sheng Xiao who has nothing. Second brother chuckled and told Gu Xiling. Just accept your fate. You will be my fiancé whether you want to or not. Moreover, you are so proud and have lived with someone else. I haven't despised your birth, so what right do you have to pick on me? Gu Xiling's body stiffened abruptly. If you marry me, it means I can't find the girl I like. What right do you have to look like I'm holding you back? Don't you know who's holding whom back? Gu Xiling opened her mouth, wanting to retort, but she could not say a word. Sleep early if there's nothing else. Instead of thinking about unrealistic things, it's better to be prepared to marry into the Sheng family. Moreover, even if you would rather choose Sheng Xiao who has nothing, he would rather have nothing than to have you. Chapter 404. A woman like Gu Xiling indeed came from a wealthy family. Her behavior and demeanor were like that of a young lady from a wealthy family. However, she also had the arrogance of a wealthy socialite. Hurt, she felt that the world had wronged her, that everyone should give in to her, and that it was only natural for everyone to be nice to her. At first, Sheng Kai would accommodate her, but as time went by and he understood her inner world, Sheng Kai realized that it was no wonder that Sheng Xiao would risk his life to leave the Sheng family. After all, Gu Xiling was a galaxy away from Muqiqi, and yet, he had no choice but to marry such a woman. After all, he did not have the courage to betray the Sheng family and the old man. Gu Xiling had never seen Sheng Kai lose his temper, and she probably felt that she was innocent. Women always liked to choose the strongest man. She did not think that she was wrong. In her eyes, Sheng Kai seemed to be angry out of humiliation. That night, the atmosphere in the Sheng family was solemn. Everyone was trembling in fear even as they ate, afraid that they would infuriate the old man if they were careless, and be chased out of the house just like that. There was no consideration for family. Even so, there was warmth like never before in the Sheng family at Empire Hotel. Mama Sheng quickly went to hug Muqiqi when she saw her, but Muqiqi gently pushed her away. "Mommy, don't hug me. I smell." Mama Sheng smiled unconcerned. "Why can't I if my son can stand it? I've been helping out at the forensics lab in the first few days of school, and couldn't report back. It would be better when I get back to school," Muqiqi explained. "Since you've chosen this path, Mommy would definitely support you." Papa Sheng suddenly felt a little ashamed when he saw how close his wife was with Muqiqi. "Chi-Chi, it's all my fault for mistreating you in the past. Don't take it to heart, and I'll treat you like my own daughter from now on." Muqiqi smiled and glanced at Sheng Xiao, before answering Papa Sheng. "I'm already very grateful that you've come back and not let Xiao Xiao lose his family. Let bygones be bygones, and we should look forward as a family." "You're right, Chi-Chi," Mama Sheng said, looking bashfully into Papa Sheng's eyes. "It's been so many years, but this is the first time I've seen your father scolding that old man. I would have forgotten that he has a temper if he wasn't like that. I wouldn't have known how vast the skies are if I didn't come out." Papa Sheng sighed before asking Sheng Xiao, "When do I need to start working?" "As soon as possible, but your mood. As long as I work, I can forget those unhappy things in the past." "Don't worry," Papa Sheng replied. "Let me prove my worth. One day, I'll tell that old man that I could make a name for myself even without the Sheng family." Mama Sheng smiled from the bottom of her after finally seeing her old self. Muqiqi breathed a sigh of relief when she saw how happy her parents were. "Everything, Sheng Mu Papa, Dad." After a while, the two elders went to the washroom together, while Sheng Xiao put his arm around Muqiqi's neck. "Who told you to wear a white coat? What's wrong with me?" Muqiqi was confused. "You don't know what's wrong with you?" Sheng Xiao asked in return. "Every time I see you in a white coat, I find you especially attractive." Muqiqi's face flushed red. "Let me go. Mom and Dad will be back soon." When Mama Sheng returned to her seat, she saw such a taboo scene. She quickly turned around. These two children wanted to flirt, but they didn't know where they were. "Mom's back." After Sheng Xiao was satisfied, he let go of Muqiqi and pulled her up. "You guys are leaving just like that. I'll give you and Dad a chance to have a candlelight dinner," Sheng Xiao said as he walked. Mama Sheng smiled and shook her head. She did not chase after them. She waited for her husband to come back and said, "The two young ones have left first." Papa Sheng frowned. Mama Sheng said, "You know your son. He's anxious about everything. But what's the rush?" It turned out that our CEO Sheng had accidentally set himself on fire when he was teasing his little wife. Now he was burning with lust. Once they entered the underground parking lot and got into the car, Sheng Xiao grabbed Muqiqi and pulled her onto his lap. I was wondering why you were in such a hurry to leave. After all, Muqiqi could already feel the warmth of his body. She had thought that Sheng Xiao would immediately take her home. But little did she know that Sheng Xiao drove the car to a blind spot in the garage and closed the window. Then he kissed Muqiqi fiercely. I'm sorry, little one. I can't wait until we get home. The underground parking lot was the hotel's parking lot, and there would be people coming and going from it from time to time. Muqiqi was very nervous, afraid that she would make a sound and attract attention. Sheng Xiao knew that she was shy, and so stimulated the little one even more, deliberately driving her crazy. Her shirt was pushed up to her neck, and her whole body was pressed against the steering wheel. There's someone. There was no need to mention how exciting that position was. Muqiqi almost went crazy. In the corner, the two were entangled in extreme pleasure. And it was only after 2 hours that Muqiqi weakly fell into Sheng Xiao's arms. Even so, the scent of their pleasure lingered in the car. Xiao, I can't. I'm so tired. Smiling, Sheng Xiao fastened the seatbelt for her and quickly led her home. By the time they reached home, Muqiqi had already fallen asleep. But subconsciously, she knew who was hugging her. So, she smiled sweetly at the person who was hugging her. Sheng Xiao's heart melted at the sight. What are you smiling about? Silly thing. It's good that you didn't lose your parents. Sheng Xiao abruptly stopped in his tracks at those words. In this world, only that idiot would wholeheartedly think for him and do everything for him. Now that everyone he cared about had left the Sheng family, it meant that no one could stop Zhongting's development from now on. Even so, he did not know that his wish to fulfill second brother's wish was precisely planting a seed of disaster in second brother's heart. Chapter 405. Perhaps because she was humiliated by Sheng Kai last night, Gu Xiling returned to the Gu family in the middle of the night, only to be sent back again the next morning. According to family caretakers, she was now the Sheng family's arranged daughter-in-law. In fact, she was just a prearranged commodity. Xiling, don't be stubborn while old Master Sheng is still taking care of you. Although second young master is not as good as the crown prince, he is the real leader of the Sheng family. If you don't marry him, who else can you marry? Mama Gu's advice to Gu Xiling when she sent her back to the Sheng family. You have no choice. I'll listen to you, Mom. Gu Xiling closed her eyes, pretending that it was all a dream. Xiling, you have so many secrets. Don't let the Sheng family find out. When old Sheng learned that Gu Xiling had sneaked home, he asked her, Is Grandpa Sheng not good enough for you? It's not like that, Grandpa Sheng. Mommy wasn't feeling well last night and called me. That's why I rushed back and didn't tell you. Gu Xiling quickly explained, and without looking at Sheng Kai, told the old man, As for my marriage, it's up to you, Grandpa Sheng. Old Sheng was certainly relieved at that. Don't worry. I've always treated you as the future matriarch of the Sheng family. And the Sheng family would depend on you to manage it from now on. Since you two are so anxious, I'll meet your parents as soon as possible and settle your marriage. Still, second brother was puzzled. Could it be because of what he said last night? Even so, he did not give Gu Xiling any face at the time. Why was she still willing? Gu Xiling did not look at Sheng Kai's expression. Either way, whether she gave Sheng Kai a face or not would not change their marriage. Instead, she might as well let herself be happy. Third brother could not help sighing at Sheng Kai when he saw their interaction. I really don't know if eighth brother's departure is a blessing or a torture for you. Did you know that Grandpa is secretly investigating eighth brother? Sheng Kai asked in return. Still not giving up? I'm afraid it's not that simple. Sheng Kai shook his head. Based on Grandpa's temper now, I'm afraid he would want to humiliate and take revenge on eighth brother. He really can't get over it. Third brother could not help sighing emotionally. He only hoped that the old man would not find out anything, or he would definitely die from anger. How could Sheng Xiao not know that someone was investigating him? But now that the Shen family was protecting him, he just needed to be the poor son-in-law of the Shen family. As for the other things, Grandpa Shen would cover it up for him. At the moment, Papa Sheng was working in Zhongting. Or rather, Mama Sheng had specially built a workshop for him at home. Mama Sheng was very pleased to see him regain his former confidence. A cool breeze caressed his face at night. Sheng Xiao had arranged to have dinner with Secretary He at a hotel, and he was traveling with only Su Che at all times. Su Che appeared to be a young man without any fighting ability at all. Who would have known that he could break someone's arm with just a small movement? Sheng Xiao and Su Che entered the private room first. That was when several young masters of Jianchuan saw Sheng Xiao and started discussing among themselves. Is that the Crown Prince of Huang Yao who just entered? What Crown Prince? Are you still treating him like a dish now? The Crown Prince has been replaced long ago. I haven't forgotten that he once hung me on the mountain behind my house and I almost died. The three young masters of Jianchuan looked at each other and hit it off. Since he made you suffer so much, and we happen to bump into each other, it would be a waste of fate if we don't make things difficult for him. Soon, the three of them worked together and pushed open the door to the private room Sheng Xiao had just entered. Oh, isn't that the Crown Prince of Huang Yao? What a coincidence. Crown Prince, do you still have the money to come to such a high-class hotel? The three of them became even more brazen when they entered the private room and found that Sheng Xiao was alone with a little boy. The three of them sat at different corners of the round table, behaving like rich kids, and it was obvious that they had ulterior motives. Sheng Xiao had been reading some documents, but passed them to Su Che behind him when he saw them. Put them away. Understood. Still acting so serious. There's no one else here, so don't put on an act in front of us. Let's get straight to the point. Looking at the time, Secretary He should be arriving soon. He didn't want these people to disrupt everyone's conversation. Do you remember how you hung me on a tree 3 years ago? One of the lanky young masters narrowed his eyes at Sheng Xiao. I'll never forget you for the rest of my life. What? Do you want to be hung again? Sheng Xiao retorted. The young master, however, slammed his fist on the table. Who do you think you are now? How dare you talk to me like that? Do you believe that I'll have my men come after you every day? Sheng Xiao turned to look at Su Che and smiled. Is that so? I'm a little scared. How about this? Tell me, how would you calm down? Simple. Crawl between my legs. Or kneel before me and shout that you're wrong. Then I'll consider letting you go. After all, the Sheng family is clamoring for revenge, and you probably wouldn't have the guts to fight back. Sheng Xiao laughed at the man's words. Don't you remember why I hung you on a tree 3 years ago? Who else would I hang if not you to humiliate a waitress in a hotel? That was before. Do you still have the guts to strut around in front of me now? I'll call for help right now. There are 3 of you, and only 2 of us. Are you calling for help? Sheng Xiao asked. What? Kneel and apologize if you're scared. The 3 men appeared ready to fight, their heads held high and brimming with the arrogance and shamelessness of the scions of aristocratic families. Fine. Kneel. However, Sheng Xiao did not say who he wanted to kneel. He merely glanced at Su Che behind him and instructed, Don't kill anyone. Su Che nodded, his face still impassive. Meanwhile, the 3 men laughed. You're still putting on airs when you're like that? You think you're still the same just because you have a lackey beside you. Before the man could finish his sentence, Su Che stepped forward and threw him over his shoulder to the ground. His speed was so fast that no one could clearly see when he had arrived. Chapter 406. Su Che, that's not how you kneel. Sheng Xiao remained unmoving on the chair, his thin lips moving. When Su Che heard the order, he promptly dragged the 3 of them from different positions and had them kneel on the ground to face Sheng Xiao. I really couldn't tell that you 3 like being tortured so much that you're in such a hurry to kneel before me. Don't get too full of yourself, Sheng Xiao. Offend me again, and I'll make sure your whole family has no peace. Sheng Xiao shot him a sharp glare, and Su Che's palm landed precisely on the other man's face. I really couldn't tell that you would have the guts to cause trouble for the Shen family. Sure, I have no power or influence now. Why don't you try? You don't think I wouldn't dare? Sheng Xiao could not be bothered to say anything, and leaned back. Suche, you handle this. The other man did a double take. Suche's skills were no joke. Let us go, you bastard. Wait until we call for help if you dare. Sheng Xiao couldn't help laughing at that. That was when Secretary he entered the private room with his men. However, he promptly frowned at the sight before him. One of the three rich young masters actually knew Secretary he and quickly begged for help. Secretary he, I'm Xiao Long. You know my parents, please help us. Sheng Xiao is a lunatic. That's right. What's going on, Sheng Xiao? Secretary he asked Sheng Xiao instead. These three had me kneel and apologize the moment they came in. They probably want to experience what it's like to humiliate me now that I'm no longer in power. But they're the ones kneeling on the floor. Secretary he was taken aback. Suche went easy on them. Sheng Xiao replied. Secretary he nodded and glanced at the others on the floor. The one called Xiao Long was hoping that Secretary he could save him, but Secretary he simply said, Suche, take him to the next room and kneel. But Secretary he only said, Suche, take him next door and kneel. You should be taught a lesson for running amok outside, just because your parents are rich and powerful. The three of them were left dumbstruck at that. Understood. Secretary he, you two talk. I'll handle these three right away. The three of them soon left the private room, and Secretary he asked Sheng Xiao, You only have Suche with you. Is that enough? How about I find someone else to be responsible for your safety? Suche is more than enough. Sheng Xiao smiled. Brother, although people like us shouldn't be extravagant when we travel and set a bad example for the outside world, you're too shabby. Basic safety needs to be guaranteed. Don't worry, I know what to do. Secretary he pointed at Sheng Xiao and said nothing else. There was nothing he could do about him, and after working with Sheng Xiao for some time, he fully realized the youth's charm. Next door, the three scions of the aristocratic families were kneeling until their legs were numb. However, because Suche was watching over them, they didn't dare to act rashly. They could only cover their heads and whisper to each other. Didn't you say that the crown prince has no power? How did he know someone as important as Secretary he? Furthermore, it seems like their friendship isn't shallow. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have gotten involved in this mess. How does the crown prince look like he's losing power? It's fine if it's just kneeling, but I'm afraid that the crown prince will come after us in the future. Suche couldn't help smirking coldly at the trio. These people bullied the weak and feared the strong, and wouldn't be pitied even if their legs were broken from kneeling. Even so, after 2 hours of kneeling, the three scions felt as if their knees no longer belonged to them when Sheng Xiao and Secretary he came out of the private room. Then, the door to the private room was opened, and both Sheng Xiao and Secretary he stood outside. If we meet in public in the future, you'll still bully me like this. The trio promptly shook their heads. We won't do it again. What's there to be afraid of? Aren't you going to make my family suffer? Sheng Xiao smirked and tidied his sleeves. Tell everyone you meet when you go out that you've beaten me black and blue and humiliated me. Well, are you serious, Crown Prince? There can't be a fourth person other than you three who knows about my meeting with Secretary he today, or else. We understand. We know what to do. Brother, do you want me to warn their parents about this? Secretary he couldn't help but threaten the three of them. That won't be necessary. I believe that they know what it means to be obedient. With that, Sheng Xiao gestured for Suche to stop restraining them. Suche released them and walked out of the private room, following behind Sheng Xiao as they saw Secretary he off. Even so, the trio who were kneeling in the private room shuddered at the thought of it. It's lucky that we didn't get into trouble. The Crown Prince is still the Crown Prince after all. How is this losing power? If he could be brothers with Secretary he's definitely not someone those businessmen could compare to. But isn't it an indisputable fact that he's from the Sheng family? It's not something we young masters can guess what those people are thinking. What did the Crown Prince tell us just now? To tell everyone we meet that we've humiliated him. Is that what he meant? The trio looked at each other and eventually nodded in unison. He must be trying to pull the wool over our eyes. If that's the case, well, let's go out and brag. Shuddering, the trio rose to their feet and helped each other out of the hotel. They had intended to teach Sheng Xiao a lesson, but they did not expect to be KO'd by him again. After seeing off Secretary Su Che watched as the trio left the hotel and asked Sheng Xiao, "Should I go again?" "No need. Keep a low profile." With that, Sheng Xiao had Su Che drive. "Let's go home." Su Che watched as the trio left and walked around the front of the car to get into the driver's seat. With those three helping him spread the word and distract old Sheng's attention, he would have a much easier time. And just as he expected, the next morning, the news of Sheng Xiao being humiliated by the three rich kids spread throughout Jianchuan. He was forced to drink and apologize. Naturally, none of them had the guts to ask Sheng Xiao to kneel or crawl under him. That way, the people of Jianchuan truly realized that Sheng Xiao was no longer a member of the Sheng family. He was now someone anyone could step on. Mu Qiqi looked at the man who was having breakfast in confusion when she read the news. Were you bullied last night? Do you believe it?" Sheng Xiao asked without looking up. Mu Qiqi shook her head. "Those rumors wouldn't have spread without your permission. It's to make things easier." Mu Qiqi nodded at that. "Like I said, who could touch a finger of yours?" Su Che crippled him first. "Do you believe in your husband or Su Che?" Mu Qiqi looked at him. Was he jealous of Su Che too? "I believe in Su Che's skills. Looks like I'll have to work harder to prove my abilities tonight." Sheng Xiao answered without blushing or skipping a beat. Mu Qiqi was at a loss for words. Chapter 407. He has his own responsibilities now, and is no longer my assistant. Sheng Xiao answered meaningfully. The old man was actually in a good mood when he heard that Sheng Xiao was being bullied. It was enough to prove that you are nothing after you left the Sheng family. You are nothing. Who can you blame for being humiliated instead of being the crown prince? And that good-for-nothing son of his had left the Sheng family and was now living with Fang Qin and Jing Ting. Old Sheng's temper flared at the thought of Jing Ting. That bitch had clearly used the Sheng family's assets to buy it, but she would not admit it now. It was fine. Since he could not take Jing Ting back anyway, it was better for no one to think about it. He did not seem to notice that his mentality was slowly becoming twisted. All he knew was that he had spoiled Sheng Xiao too much in the past and never made him obedient, which was why he betrayed him later. He would never let himself lose his family again. Who would want to leave the Sheng family? Not unless he died. And those who had left the Sheng family would certainly pay the price for abandoning it. It was evening when Jing Ting caught fire. Papa Sheng was drawing blueprints in his workshop, while Mama Sheng was buying things for her husband in the mall. When the firefighters arrived to put out the fire, the entire mansion was already engulfed in flames. Papa Sheng did not manage to save anything, and only took out his blueprints and some valuable items, not even having the time to put on his shoes. When Mama Sheng returned home to find Jing Ting in ruins, she looked everywhere for her husband. Sheng Xiao had already received the news and hurried over with Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi quickly checked Papa Sheng for injuries when she saw him. "Are you alright, Dad?" Papa Sheng shook his head blankly. Then, he handed the blueprints to Sheng Xiao. "Go rest in the car. We'll keep an eye on things here." Why did it catch fire out of nowhere? Mama Sheng looked at her husband's bare feet, her heart aching. "The fire burned very quickly. I smelled it in the workshop. When I came out, the fire was already out of control. So I ran out. We will have to wait for the police to investigate the cause of the fire." Papa Sheng recovered from the fire after much difficulty. Sheng Xiao looked out the window. Jing Ting had been reduced to ashes just like that. By the time the fire was completely extinguished, Jing Ting was already in ruins. The firefighters came over to inform everyone. This is definitely arson. When they were putting out the fire, they smelled the distinct smell of gasoline. As for the specifics, we will have to wait for further verification. "Thank you, officer." Mama Sheng quickly thanked him. "You're welcome. The police tried their best to save some of your belongings. You can send someone over to check them. Since it was man-made, who else could it be?" The family immediately thought of the one from the Sheng family. I really didn't expect that person to want us to die without a burial ground. I'm still inside. Let's not talk about anything else for now. You two will stay in the courtyard for now. Wait for Su Che to arrange a safe place for you. Sheng Zhao's gaze was deep and cold. If it was proven that old Sheng had sent someone to do it, the nature of the matter would be completely different. With that, Sheng Zhao led his parents, who were still in shock, back to the house where he and Mu Qiqi were staying for the time being. There were guards here, and it was close to the Shen family, which was why it was the best place for them to stay. I think Mom and Dad are really scared this time. Since the courtyard is so big, let's just let them stay here. There's no need to find another place. Mu Qiqi said to Sheng Zhao when she returned to her room after helping her parents settle down. Sheng Zhao said nothing as he sat on the sofa, his eyes as sharp as an eagle's. Mu Qiqi could feel his anger. If Grandpa Sheng was really the one who did it, then he must be out of his mind. It was not that he couldn't set Jingting on fire, but he had to at least make sure that there was no one inside. Was he planning to kill his son and daughter-in-law by choosing to do it in the evening with everyone inside? What do you plan to do, Xiao Xiao? I'll investigate and give them an eye for an eye. That's fine, but not an eye for an eye. We'll use other methods to get justice. After listening to Mu Qiqi's words, Sheng Zhao regained his rationality. If it was before, he would have burned down Huang Yao's warehouse. But as Mu Qiqi said, what difference was there between this method and the old man's? Well, what method do you think we should use? Sheng Zhao's black-bellied cells were starting to play tricks, and he asked the clever Mu Qiqi. What could be crazier than letting the entire nation know that he set fire to his own son? We're not afraid of anything now. Instead of burning his warehouse, it's better to burn his heart. Wouldn't Huang Yao's stocks fall if such a scandal were to spread? That's his way of making up for his losses. Sheng Zhao couldn't help laughing at that. Are you trying to get Mom and Dad to put on an act? Mom and Dad's house was burned down. Are they not allowed to come out and complain? Sheng Zhao pinched Mu Qiqi's nose at that. You're a black-bellied one too. I learned it all from you. You taught me personally, and a strict teacher produces a good student. With those words, Mu Qiqi got up from Sheng Zhao's side, wanting to see if her parents needed anything else. Meanwhile, Sheng Zhao gave Su Che a call. He would have the police investigate the matter, and then blow it up and spread the news. Everyone in the Sheng family received the news of Jingting being burned down even as they slept. It was only natural that such an ancient mansion was consumed by a fire in a matter of hours, and it naturally made the news. Jianchuan's people, on the other hand, knew very well whose house it used to be. Third brother promptly called Sheng Zhao when he saw the news. Jingting was burned down. Our eldest aunt and uncle all right? Scared half to death, of course. Sheng Zhao replied. Do you suspect that Grandpa did this? Wouldn't you suspect it even if he wasn't here? Third brother suddenly felt a little desolate as he watched the images of the fire spreading across the sky. My father was at home when Jingting caught fire. In other words, Grandfather doesn't just want to burn Jingting down, but also kill people. Don't overflow with righteousness and fight for justice, or you'll be the next victim, Sheng Zhao warned. What do I have to be afraid of? After mocking him, third brother hung up and strode towards the old man's study. Even so, the old man was practicing calligraphy at the moment. Do you find it hard to calm yourself, Grandfather? It's easy to sleep when one is old. Then you must have heard about the fire at Jingting, right? What does a fire have to do with us? The old man appeared unusually calm, his emotions unaffected. Chapter 408. That's because he's unlucky. Is that so? You're not going to sleep well if you keep this up, Grandfather. Insolence. The old man put down his brush and flared up. Third brother, however, did not say anything. The old man assumed that Sheng Zhao's family had nothing, and could only watch as Jingting burned down. He definitely did not know that eighth brother was now the CEO of Zhongting. And behind eighth brother were the countless mysterious forces of Jianchuan. He wanted to burn down Jingting, didn't he? Fine. Just wait for eighth brother's revenge. That was why he did not continue arguing with the old man. and simply vented his frustrations in the Sheng family's garden in a foul mood. Soon, Sheng Kai came to third brother's side and asked him, who was sweating profusely, "Are you angry at grandfather over the fire at Jingting?" Third brother said nothing. Grandfather had been wronged for so many days. What's wrong with letting him vent? Isn't it just a house? At those words, third brother turned to second brother in shock, his eyes filled with disbelief. Second brother, don't you think you're becoming more and more like grandfather? When the fire started, eldest uncle was inside. If eldest uncle wasn't so lucky and was burned to death in the fire, do you still think that a house wouldn't matter? Didn't he end up fine in the end? After hearing this, Lao San immediately got up from the lawn. What was the saying? Now he realized that in this family, there was no common language between him and his family. It really made him want to run. He really did not believe that the old man would have a clear conscience if he had burned his own son to death. No, he no longer had a heart. The value of Jingting burning down was inestimable. If it were Mama Sheng, would she be able to tolerate it? The old man must have thought that they wouldn't dare to trouble him, even if they knew it was the Sheng family. Did he really think that they were at their wits' end? On the next day, Su Che had arranged for the media to arrive at the ruins of Jingting, with Papa Sheng and Mama Sheng being interviewed as promised. Naturally, the media had all memorized their scripts under Su Che's instructions, and knew what questions to ask and how to lead public opinion. I heard that the old chairman, the person in charge of the Sheng family, had personally come to Jingting a few days before Jingting was burned down to reclaim the house, but failed. Is that true? Jingting is a gift I prepared for my son and daughter-in-law. I bought this property with my own savings. The money came from my maiden family, said Mama Sheng. I've also heard rumors that Chairman Sheng is venting his anger on you because of Sheng Xiao, and wants you to divorce your husband. Is that true? Because of my son, my father-in-law had a lot of opinions about me and wanted to chase me out of the family. My husband couldn't stand being oppressed and left the Sheng family with me. But I didn't expect that something like this would happen right after we moved into Jingting. When the fire started, my husband was still in it. Now that I think about it, I'm scared. Mama Sheng replied while wiping her tears. I heard from the police that the fire in Jingting was man-made. Did you and your wife offend any enemies? No. The couple shook their heads at the same time. Is it possible that someone is trying to take revenge on you? It's hard to say. Did you suspect anyone? Who else could it be? Mama Sheng's answer was very artistic. She did not mention any names, but with so much information laid out, everyone naturally knew who she was referring to. It was the chairman of Huangyao. All at once, the discussion stirred up a storm. Old Sheng was quickly pushed to the forefront of the storm. Although the media did not mention the Sheng family, and only used a certain corporation, everyone with a discerning eye knew that the person who set the fire, and did not hesitate to sacrifice his own son, was the chairman of Huangyao. When Sheng Kai learned about it, he quickly had his company's PR team handle it. Even so, the video of Mama Sheng crying was spread everywhere. Everyone sympathized with the weak, and Sheng Xiao was left with nothing. And yet old Sheng was still trying to kill him. Was that not hateful? It was common for rich families to fall out, but there were always people who would come out to pretend that things were peaceful, which was why it was merely a temporary entertainment in the eyes of the onlookers. However, the scale of the fire and the loss of human life was different. Moreover, Sheng Xiao had people working on it. That was why the incident became a hot topic in the headlines for days. Hence, Huang Yao's reputation and shares all started to fall. Who told you, old man, that powerless people can't retaliate? In just a few days, Huang Yao's market value has dropped by billions. That's enough to buy dozens of Jingtings. Of course, such a scandal would not last. Huang Yao's status as a diamond kingdom was unshakable, just as it would not be destroyed by such a small scandal. As long as Huang Yao took some remedial measures, it was only a matter of time before it returned to its previous level of stability. Even so, it was a great loss even if it was just a few days. We really can't underestimate eighth brother. He made Huang Yao suffer such a loss without even breaking a sweat. Old Sheng smirked when he saw the reporters crowding outside the Sheng family's house. He's a centipede that's still alive. That's probably how you describe him. Still, Grandpa, did you really order someone to set Jingting on fire? Do you have proof? Old Sheng asked second brother in return. Just mind your own business, and lead Huang Yao well if you don't have any evidence. By the way, the date of your engagement with Gu Xiling has been confirmed. It's on the 15th of next month. It's only a few days, so prepare well. Got it. Of course, it was not something that would make Sheng Kai happy. But it did not seem that bad either. He just felt infinitely sad. After witnessing Huang Yao's loss with their own eyes, Papa Sheng and Mama Sheng finally breathed a sigh of relief. It was fine that Jingting was set on fire, but they could not let the old man be so fearless. After all, it involved human lives. Now the old couple was staying in another courtyard. The first floor was where they moved around, while the second floor was Mu Qiqi and Sheng Zhao's territory. Qiqi's idea this time was really good. Your father and I wouldn't have to worry so much. It's the age of information now. Even if there's no proof, Huang Yao would suffer as long as we can get hold of the explosive point and spread it. We're barefooted, so we're not afraid of them. Mu Qiqi explained. Why would I bother with him if your father wasn't almost burned to death? I can't take it lying down that he doesn't even care about his own son's life. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.